All right. I think. All right. I think I'm online, right? Fuck. I've been tongue tied all fucking day. But yeah, I think I'm online right now. Hello, everyone. This has been a while since I've done a live stream because I've just been so busy with making other videos. I just came out with my Wolves of Wall Street review, and that was fuck. That was a chore because it was really it was something happened with the project and things just got fucked up, and it took like 3 days to successfully render it. And I was just like emotionally exhausted from fucking with it. So, and I just like yesterday, uh, just yesterday, I sat down and got the lineup together for like the 13th cringe stream. And I knew, thankfully, I knew exactly what I wanted to tackle because I'm always bookmarking shit to make sure I'm ready and prepared. So, thank God for that. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done one of these, and I wanted to do another one before I get started on my next video. I'm doing another response, and then I think after that I'm gonna do another review. It's not gonna be that. Oh, it's not gonna be as elaborate as the other. It's not. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I am definitely reviewing another movie. I think it's gonna be that Brie Larson directed Heap, that fucking movie, that unicorn store movie she came out with, because like doing reviewing Captain America, not Captain America, oh shit, reviewing Captain Marvel at this point is just so passe, and because I just got done seeing Maula's an unbridled meh review of Captain Marvel. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you check it out if you want a in-depth, unbiased opinion on that garbage film. But yeah, I just got done watching that, and it's like it's why I hate watching other people's reviews, because I always get discouraged. Like, oh, this is so good. Why the fuck do I need to make one? But who knows? I might make one anyway. Fuck it. But I'm definitely doing one on Unicorn Store. I just have to sit down and watch it. I tried to watch a few minutes of it like 1 week, 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't having it that day. I was just fucking tired. Oh shit! I need to be watching the chat. Bri-Fi, well he's Brian Nelson. Brian Fidelius Nelson sent a $2 super chat. Watch Mike on sexist emails. It's from last week. Oh god. I wish you would. I wish you suggested this to me like an hour ago. But whatever. I'm gonna look it up. If my material's running a bit thin, I'm gonna look it up, and we'll watch that. But yeah, let's get on with this. The whole lineup is basically just your average bullshit. But I definitely want to talk about this. CBS and that show. They made a spin-off show from this other show. Like, there was a show called The Good Wife, starring Juliana Margulies and Mr. Big from Sex and the City. It's political fucking no. It's like a sign of some law drama. Who gives a shit? And then there was a spinoff called The Good Fight with Christine Baranski and Delroy Lindo. It's got like a nice. I was thinking about getting into that and getting into The Good Wife to set up, but after this, I'm just no, no, no. I'm pretty much done. They completely soured me on it, but yeah, this is they came out with a promo for their spinoff, and it's called I don't think this is the right title here, but it's called Is It Right to Punch a Nazi? Yeah, so you already know where this is. You already know where this is going, because most network television is mostly leaning left in the political views, so you know where this is going. But yeah, let's play it. Let's just play it. Let's get it over with. And actually, this isn't from CBS. I actually found a mirror copy of this fucking file. Thank God, because I think CBS deleted it immediately. Like, they fucking got rid of it. I think even some of their fans were like, look, bruh, this is not something you want to be advertising. And so they just wiped it clean from their Twitter account. But thankfully, I actually found the link online. But I did download it just in case I wanted to do a full video on it, but it's too short to do a full video on. I was just like, let me just watch it during the cringe stream, and I'll just do that. Because it's only, like I said, it's only a minute, and it's simple points. The simple answer to this fucking video is no, it's not okay to just punch a Nazi unprovoked. Yeah, because that's the question. Hold on, let's just watch it before I start babbling.
Is it alright to hit a Nazi unprovoked? I was always taught to never throw the first punch, never instigate, defend but don't attack. But then I saw a video of the white nationalist Richard Spencer being punched in the face during an interview, and I realized
that leftists are really bitch-made who don't know how to punch someone when they're being provoked. Because he hit him from the side when he wasn't looking. That's just some bitch-made fucking shit. That's the reason why people say don't throw the first punch. Because it's just, not only is it like just, it's just dirty fighting, it's fucking bitch-made. Like, why would you do that? Why would you punch someone who's not fucking bothering you? Who's minding their own fucking business? That's just, it's dirty. Don't do that shit.
Spencer was in a pressed suit, wearing a tie, being interviewed like his opinion mattered, like he should be considered part of the conversation, like neo-Nazism was just one political point of view. And then
it is. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Spencer
I
was
meant
in a
to
pressed
pause it.
suit.
But anyway, again, it is a political point of view. Not political, but it is that's the thing. It's not even a political point of view. It's just another point of view. It's a shitty one, but it is. See, like, they're trying to make you believe that we still live in the 60s and the 60s and prior, where Nazis were everywhere and then they were legitimately dangerous. Like, there were more people who sympathized with them who wanted to stop them. It was fucked up back in the day, and they want to make you believe we still live in that day, that they're just free reign, like they're just roaming around, hanging motherfuckers from trees. Like, they really want you to believe that we're still in that. Even like that's how far America has come. That's how well America is doing, like, socially, where fucking. Even the Nazis are like, yeah, I don't think we need to do all that. Like, I still hate Negroes, but I don't think we need to hang them from trees or anything. I just don't like them, you know. And I think they're the bane of my existence, and they're intellectually inferior to me in every way. But, like, I don't think we need to do that. You know, that's how far we've come. There's not that many of them in the U.S. That's number one. Number two, they're not even that dangerous anymore. They're just some assholes that are floating around on Earth, as is everyone else. But yeah, let's continue.
Wearing a tie, being interviewed like his opinion mattered, like he should be considered part of the conversation, like neo-Nazism was just one political point of view. And then I realized there's no better way to show some speech is not equal. Some speech requires a more visceral response. It's like Overton's window.
Yeah, but you're ruining. Like, some speech deserves a more visceral response. Like, but that just shows, if white supremacists didn't already think black men were overly aggressive, uncivilized apes, they're gonna think that way after you fucking punch them for no reason. You fucking idiot. I want fucking equality for all. I want these racists to see me as a fully realized human being. But am I going to afford them that same privilege? Am I going to treat them the same exact way? Am I going to act how I would want to be treated? No. Fuck no. Fuck that. He deserved to be punched. I'm gonna go all, ape brain and fuck people up for no reason. And CBS thought this was like a good thing to put out there. CBS was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this. We're going all out." Like with other shows, they're not as blatant with their shitty message, but CBS went all out. They're like, "Yeah, you go out and punch a fucking Nazi. Who gives a shit? They're not people." They're not people. Saul Emeralds 18 $5 super chat. Did you know the Good Fight was making the comparison of the Red Vests to the Proud Boys? Like it should have been Antifa. It should have been Antifa they compared to. Like yeah, basically. I didn't. And there's Nick Monroe from Twitter actually had he compiled a bunch of clips from that episode. Exposing how fucking retarded it is, and it is retarded. And we'll get to that a little later too. Where I'm not going to show it because, of course, copyright, all that bullshit. But yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, let's go. Let's continue on.
That's the term from which ideas are tolerated in public discourse. Well, it's like Overton's window. That's the term from which ideas are tolerated in public discourse. Well, Overton's window doesn't mean shit unless it comes with some enforcement. So yeah, this is enforcement. It's time to punch a few Nazis.
Yeah, this is real smart, CBS, you fucking idiots. And that's the trip about this episode, is that, this is where I transition into how stupid this episode was. Basically, like, these two people who work for this law firm, whatever, they get sent to this polling booth for whatever fucking reason. It doesn't matter. And, it starts out stupid. Like, this fucking white guy in this, he's a clearly liberal white guy. He's got long hair. Wait, hang on a second. I have to get something out of the oven. Hang on a second. It's supposed to be in there for 40 or 50 minutes.
How long has it been?
Around 40. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Is this okay? And the microphone is still on. Okay. Anyway, I had to get a shepherd's pie out of the oven. But anyway, the episode was really stupid because yeah, all this there's oh, now I'm trying to remember it. Oh, okay. This long-haired white guy in a weed shirt goes into the polling office as the two, law office subordinates who showed up are like, they're standing outside having fucking dialogue about some fucking shit that's going on in that episode, whatever. And like this, there's some conservative polling people there too, or like these two conservative people who are like hanging around, and they're having a discussion with the two let's just call them again the two leftist characters are having an argument with the two conservative characters as the weed guy rolls up to the polling booth, and the two conservatives see this guy and they're like, he's wearing a politically charged piece of clothing, and he shouldn't be able to do that at a polling place. He's inciting. They said he was inciting. He was like swaying people's opinion to a certain side. And the weed guy's shirt said, "When they go low, we get high," because he's a weed head. It's corny already. And they go to the guy in charge at the polling place, say, hey, like, he's got to take the shirt off or leave and come back later, because he's gonna sway people to vote the other way, and that's wrong. And these are the conservative people saying that, because that's realistic. And the dude's like, yeah, either you gotta take the shirt off or you gotta go home. I'm sorry, like, your shirt's a political shirt, and it's against the rules to go to a polling place with political, like, messaging or political whatever. So he takes the shirt off. He gets chest naked and then fucking votes. And yeah, that happens. And then the guys in this scene right here, like the red jackets, show up. And as soon as they show up, like, a whole bunch of black people start leaving. It's like, and one of the leftist characters is outside watching them show up. Like, the redcoats show up and the black people leave in fear because black people are so fucking scared of people in vests. Like, no, I just can't vote because there are people here with vests. So, and she literally says out loud as they visually show black people leave, oh, black people, they're scaring away the blacks. That's unfair. They're inciting fear just by showing up. But anyway, yeah, that happens. And okay, what else? Because I'm going off memory, not even the fucking clip, because I don't have it with me exactly. So, oh yeah, okay. And when they get there, like when the redcoats get there, they don't do anything. They're just around, standing around, doing nothing. And the chick is like, oh, I'm calling my, she was snapping photos of everyone there and give it to, I don't know, one of their fucking tech people. You know, that nerdy character who's always at the computer in every fucking primetime drama. And the chick literally said, like, she sends the pictures to the chick, and the computer chick she sends it to literally fucking says, I'm gonna dox them. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, she literally says, I am going to dox them. And they're doxing these people for no reason. They just showed up. And they just, hold on, I think Bri-Fi sent me another super chat, and I was too busy talking. Bri-Fi sent another $2 super chat. You should watch Dr. Shyam Riley Reid by me. Oh. I think, isn't that the same video? Like, you've been pimping out to me this whole time? Like, I'm not saying I don't want to watch it. It's just like, I want to watch something that's genuinely horrible, you know? This is the cringe stream. But getting back to what I was saying. Like, these red coat people, or it's like red coat people are just standing around doing nothing. And this chick sends photos of their likeness to this other computer chick who fucking doxes them for no reason. They're not doing anything. They're just standing around doing nothing. And they dox them for no reason. And that doesn't do anything, I don't think. Like, the black leftist chick who's there outside watching the redcoats, the dangerous redcoats, like, says she is not. Like, they continually stand outside doing nothing. Keep in mind. And she keeps freaking out, like, oh, something terrible is gonna happen. Let me call the police. Oh, no. So already we're going into fucking just super. Oh god. But no. She doxes them, and she finds out that a couple of them, or one of them, was a registered sex offender. Because of course, there's always there's gonna be some registered sex offenders within this group of people wearing red coats. Ugh, because yes, you all know, conservative equals bad person. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, she figures out that one of them has a record with like I said, oh my god, well, he has a sex offense on his record. So she calls the cops on this person, so the cops will show up and maybe, I don't know, see the redcoats and be like, oh, you know what? We saw a child molester here, like a sex offender here. But there are people here with red coats, so all of y'all are going to jail. Because the thought process behind it is so fucking stupid. Like, you think they're gonna round up all of them for no reason, just because you called the cops on one guy? That's not how it works. If they're gonna get the sex offender and then go home. If they don't find any reason to pick them up, to pick everybody up, they're just gonna take the sex offender and go home. Why the fuck? Why would they hassle everybody because of one of them? That doesn't make any sense. Especially if you're going by the logic that cops only hassle black people and not white people. So, and mostly white people were there. So I don't know how you thought that would work, but whatever. Actually, I didn't watch the entire clip, like when they start fighting and shit. But that's just basically an overview of like 70% of what happens. It's just stupid. It was so dumb. But yeah, don't incite violence with people who are minding their own fucking business. And it's as simple as that. Like, don't fuck with people. How hard is that? Mind your own fucking business. If they're not doing anything, mind your business. But yeah, anyway, like, CBS, they're dirty for this shit. There's a reason they deleted this video. It's just outright, like, they're doing what other networks have only implied. They're just outright saying it. But yeah, this is terrible. Oh, Wiz Division Productions, $5 super chat. J-Lo, hope you've been well. Thoughts on the Child's Play reboot? Oh, yeah, I saw that trailer. I dislike Chucky's look, but I'm excited to hear Mark Hamill's voicing him. So yeah, this is a couple, like, apart from, yeah, the design and, I'm just gonna give my quick thoughts on it before we get to the next thing. But apart from the design and Mark Hamill voicing him, which I don't know why he's voicing him when Brad Dourif is still fucking alive and still acting. I don't know why they replaced him with Mark Hamill. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, yeah. Apart from that, I don't like the fact that that Andy is older for some reason. Andy's like damn near. He's damn near an older. What is he, like 13 in the movie? What does he need with a goddamn doll? At least like that kind of doll. I don't know. Why does he, like, he's so desperate for friends. He gets a doll meant for children ages 1 to 5? What? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That made no sense to me. The movie other than that, the movie looks good. the evil AI thing, I don't know how they're gonna give, because it's an evil AI that's inside of Chucky instead of the soul of a serial killer. So I don't know how they're gonna work that out. Because how are you gonna give Chucky his patented personality, his quipping and all that? How is he gonna have that same tone, but he's an AI? I don't know. We'll see how that works. But from what I saw, mostly like the big changes they made, I didn't like. But like I said, it's one of those things where you just gotta wait, sit back and wait and see. And I want to wait to see another trailer to make my decision about how it looks. But the fact that Andy's older doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. It's just like it's just like the decision they made with Pet Sematary. Why the fuck is it Ellie and not Gage? It's like, is it really that hard to make a younger actor act? Even the first Andy couldn't act. You can still make that work. Because what the first Andy made up for his lack of acting talent with how sympathetic he was, and because kids are still kids at the end of the day. He was a defenseless kid running away from this fucking demon doll, so they could still could have worked around it. I don't know why the hell they got a fucking 12, 13-year-old with a goddamn baby doll. It just made any sense, but whatever. Anyway, next thing, because like I said, that Trump video, like that punching Nazi video was just so dumb. It's simple shit. Don't beat anyone's ass for having an opinion. It's just it makes you look stupid, not the other person. Okay. All right, next video is really, really interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean gross. I'm almost hesitant to watch this while I eat. I mean, it's not gross. It's not like it doesn't have anything oozing or any pus or anything like that, but it's just morally, it's gross. Yep, another video from what? Is it Barcroft? Hang on, I'm waiting for this to load fully. It's on private? Huh. That's weird. But it's Extreme Love from... Oh yeah, it
in
is
South
from
Carolina.
But this one's about... Well, I'll let y'all figure it out. But this one is... this one is gross. In a more emotional and moral way. Oh, come on, play. What the fuck?
In South Carolina, one man loves his women big, beautiful, and growing bigger every day.
Yeah.
Justin, also known as Jar, has never had a girlfriend who's smaller than him.
I've always been into bigger women from the time that, my hormones or whatever started kicking in. I started getting interested in females. You got bottom-heavy plus-size women, you got top-heavy plus-size women, you got proportionate all over plus-size women. I probably wouldn't date like a Halle Berry or Beyonce type chick, no.
So Beyonce and Halle Berry aren't welcome in Justin's bed, but his girlfriend Liv...
Which is a huge red flag. Like, what the fuck? So he's got a fetish, basically. It starts off pretty like it's already kind of sketch because it's a fucking weird like having a proclivity for fat chicks is fine. But it just gets weirder as it goes on.
Lou ticks his boxes in a really big way. The couple recently welcomed baby Gianni, but she's not the only addition to the family.
I tried monogamy for a while. It didn't really go so well for me.
I'm sure it didn't, you little snaggletooth freak.
I like to, I'm a flirty type of guy. So I met Shane and Lou on a social media site.
I love his personality, the way he looks, of course.
Of course, you say that.
The way he treats me.
Justin is now polyamorous with both Lou and Shan.
I wasn't with the whole polyamorous stuff, but then after me and Lou met...
You said polyamorous. I went with the old polyamorous stuff.
It just made it even better.
When I first met Shan, I instantly felt like a connection.
Having been poly together for just under a year now, they're used to a fuller house.
What makes this relationship work for me, I would say a lot of communication.
Get deep on them, babe. Get deep on them, babe.
Like, go ahead.
Yeah, don't touch her. I don't know, something about that was just like, can you stop? Yeah, girl, I need to get some more Weston for those edges. What, you know, if you don't know what that is, Weston vegetable oil.
Babe.
Like, go ahead. If it's like two people talking or, you know, it will always be a problem because no communication with all three of you guys.
The rules of relationship.
How do you find jeans that big? I mean, I've always wondered, how the fuck do you find jeans and pants and shit that fucking big? Like, I'm big, but I'm like I'm on the cutoff. Like, I'm as big as a human can possibly get. They are way past that. They have to be at least 100 and something pounds bigger than me. Which is, it's scary. They live in a nice fucking crib, though. Can't hate too much, because their crib is laid. It's nice.
Relationship, but basically, you know, like I said, don't hide anything, you know, always be upfront. And our relationship is just strictly one male and females. Most people got the misconception.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Those situations, it's always either one chick and two dudes, or one dude and two chicks. Because if there's always one of one gender in that situation, that's the motherfucker who's in control of the whole thing. Just an FYI. Like, it always just seems that way, doesn't it? Because I think I'm actually going to do a response to another one of these polyamorous type things. You know, so stay tuned for that. But it's always like either one chick and two dudes, or one dude and two chicks. It's never like peppered, like, oh, okay, just like maybe one girl, one guy, and another. Oh wait, no. There's only so many. I keep forgetting. There's only so many combinations. But I don't know. It just always seems like the person, the odd man out, is always the one in charge of the whole thing. If there's one chick and two dudes, the chick is always the one. You know, is always the one leading the relationship. Something like shit like that. Let's just continue.
Conception that in this type of relationship, the women are submissive. That's a lie. They are not.
What annoys?
Most people got the misconception that in this type of relationship, the women are submissive.
And I love the fact that they need to subtitle him because he's such a mumbly fucking bastard.
People got the misconception that in this type of relationship, the women are submissive. That's a lie. They are not.
That's a lie. They are not. And what you're gonna see later on is gonna completely contradict what he just said.
Annoys you two about John?
I don't know.
Boy,
I can answer that. I can answer that.
waiting on this question.
Y'all got his clothes.
Man, I take the book out,
He
man.
gonna wash dishes. He gonna cook dinner. Justin is a mess, okay? A whole mess.
Throw it
Y'all can see.
Throw it off with Justin away.
Whole mess
So
out
he's
here
a
in
fucking
these
lazy
streets. Justin
ass.
is a
Like, what
lot
did
to
he say?
take
He said he
in.
doesn't wash dishes.
Justin is a
Y'all,
He gonna
man.
wash dishes.
Oh, he's got clothes everywhere. He doesn't wash his. This is another red flag. So he doesn't do any work around the house. Guess who probably does if he doesn't, you know? But they're not submissive though. That's a lie.
Dishes. He gonna cook dinner. Justin is a mess, okay? A whole mess.
Y'all can see.
Throw it off with Justin away.
Whole mess out here in these streets. Justin is a lot to take in, but I'm a lot to take in, so it's okay. Justin, an overall person, it's always fun. Everybody laughing. Even if you're trying to be mad, you still gonna laugh.
Fortunately for Justin, the women find him so entertaining, they spend a lot of time in his company.
We do everything together, basically.
No personal space.
That's what I love about
No personal space. That's another red flag. Because how if you're not an individual, what the fuck? What else is there? Because you can't be all up under a motherfucker all the time. We got no personal space. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. And why they both got those fucking... They both have the same hairstyle, which I just noticed. And that's another thing. Why they both have the same hairstyle?
I'm comfortable enough to be on the toilet, and y'all come in, and I'm
On the toilet?
You know what I'm saying?
Personal space in the bathroom is one thing, but how does it work in the bedroom?
As far as our sexual life, I mean, Shannon's also my girlfriend. You know, I like females, so you know sometimes we have sex together. Sometimes.
Wait, so if she exclusively likes chicks, then what the fuck she doing with this nigga? Was she just with him to get to her? Because that seems like what it is. Like, she's a lesbian. She doesn't like men. So I have a theory that she's just with him to get with her. Because the other chick, probably doesn't want to leave him. Because when you're being fed, like, when you're having your addiction and your, all of your needs being met by this one person, then why the fuck would you leave him, right? If you're getting intravenously fed with gravy, you would give that shit up.
Me and Justin will go off, or Shannon and Justin will go off. However we feel.
A lot of the times it's all three of us.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's all three of us, but it's just however that person feels at that moment.
We all share the same bed.
Oh my God!
We live in it.
He's put his hand all the way up her ass. Oh shit! Oh, this made me choke on something. What the fuck? Hang on, let's rewind that a bit. The fuck?
At that moment.
We all share the same bed.
Oh. What is happening? Oh God. Excavation. Oh God. He's going up the Hershey Highway. Jesus Christ. And look at the chick. Look at the chick next to him. Look at the one on his left. Oh God. All that Hershey for him and none for me. Oh God.
Justin sleeps in the middle. We sleep in the end, so it's like.
Of course he sleeps in the middle. Because, well, you'll hear it in a second.
A sandwich.
What?
It's a hot dog in the middle of a bun.
Two big buns.
So, Lou and Shan enjoy sex with each other as well as their man. And while 3 in a bed might be a squeeze for this trio, for Justin, it's a supersized order he prefers.
Oh, got a $1.99 super chat from Snickerdoot. Enjoying that shepherd's pie, Jay. Yep. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be good for some reason. I don't know. I'm picky with food sometimes. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I just eat a lot of what I like already. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. I might get some seconds in a second, so prepare for another intermission.
I enjoy getting squashed. Squashing is like face sitting, or like sitting on my body, putting weight on my body, like squashing, like when you sit on.
Yep. See, yeah, it's purely a fucking fetish. He likes squashing. I like getting squashed. I like it when my face turns. I like it when my face turns into a doll head when someone punches it in. Yeah.
Justin gets off on being sat on.
Yeah, I lay like this down. I lay down by the booty.
And far from being satisfied with Lou and Shan's current size, he's even become their feeder, meaning he helps them to gain weight.
And he said, like they said, hang
become their feeder.
Yeah, I lay like this down. I lay down by the booty.
And far from being satisfied with Lou and Shan's current size,
the fucking he is far from being satisfied. He's all the way in England while they're in Atlanta. Like, he's far away from being satisfied with how fat they are now. And he's trying to get them bigger. Bigger than they already are. I'm sorry, but no. They have a kid, and they have a kid in that situation. That's just fucking sick. I'm sorry. Because you know what happens when people get too big, they start to, die. So that's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. And watch this, like when he's all, like they're eating and shit, and they're eating like just a table full of food, and like he's hovering around. I'm like, yeah, come on, eat this shit, girl. Fucking greasoid.
He's even become their feeder, meaning he helps them to gain weight.
You got your wings, babe. That's how you know you're fat when you got your wings, babe.
Oh,
you
Jesus
got your wings.
Christ.
There you do. Don't try to tense it up. Don't try to make a muscle.
The bigger they...
And look at them. They're not comfortable. Look at them. Look at the chick on the right. They're not comfortable with this shit at all. Oh, God. They're fucking humiliated. See, it's good when, like I said, you're getting your needs met and there's no one around to see it. You don't have to acknowledge how you're fucking degrading yourself, but now there's cameras around and you're like, oh, maybe we made a fucking mistake. Maybe bathing in Hawaiian Punch while sucking off a guy as you smush his balls, it just isn't a good idea. I don't know. And while I have a fucking number 2 lead pencil tip on my head, maybe that's not good. Maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm regretting it now, because now we've been exposed to how many views does this fucking video have? See, unfortunately I can't see it. But yeah, that's that's fucked up.
The bigger they get, the less Justin can keep his hands off them.
I love how her shirt has bleach stains all over. Like, I have shirts that look like that, okay? But I don't wear them in public, especially when I'm not going. My life as a basically as a living hot air balloon is going to be exposed to millions of people. Why are you wearing that ugly ass shirt? Ugh, why are you wearing that? Ugh, it just looks even more scangy now because it looks like she's just some. And remember what he said earlier about people want to think girls in a polyamorous relationship are submissive. They are not. Yeah, they are, because you're sitting there fucking feeding them. You're their feeder, which means like he's basically like a obesity dom. Like, yeah, they basically are submissive. Like, yeah, you might have convinced them that they're not, but they are.
Justin can keep his hands off them.
I'm just the encourager, just probably like a coach.
Yeah, they don't look happy with this. So they did it first when they were in the house, frolicking around, and they were just talking about like the basic sexual thing. They were cool with it. And as soon as they got out to the feeding barn, as soon as they got to the feeding barn, it was like, oh, turn off the camera, please. Well, let me rewind that. Look at her face. He was shoving it in her face. She was just like, can you fucking stop, please? Stop embarrassing me.
It's probably like a coach.
I'm a coach. I'm a death coach.
I want them to get bigger, but I don't want them to get bigger at the risk of their health.
Motherfucker, what? What? I don't want them to get bigger at the risk of their health. Like, their health is already at risk. They're already huge. They're already huge. What the fuck?
Almost. I want them to get bigger, but I don't want them to get bigger at the risk of their health.
Is your brain nothing but those fucking braids? Like, if I would open up your skull, would it just be nothing but, like, strands of braids? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Their health is already at risk because they're already fucking huge. The fuck is wrong? So I sound like a good guy yet? No. You don't. I don't want them to die or nothing. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Oh, fuck. Like, they're already in the early stages of fucking death. What are you doing? You got a whole fucking table, like a whole gallon of Hawaiian Punch. Like, this is assorted foods. Look, there were chips, fucking oatmeal cream pies. They were eating eggs and biscuits and shit. Yeah, you want them to die, motherfucker. Either they have some kind of insurance policy set up that he's trying to get to, Or just, like, he's sick. I'm sorry, but people who like that feeding shit, who physically do that, like, they're fucking sick. They're sick. Sorry, but they are. People who like to get punched during sex or whatever, that's fine, because you can recover from that. You can easily recover from a punch to the face, or a slap to the ass, or whatever. Or like a caning. But this, what the fuck? What the fuck?
It's all about building up, taking your time, being patient.
All this is for you. And Lou.
It just was something new, and it was very taboo to me, so I had to really...
Yeah, I don't think it's taboo to you at all. Just eating a lot? I don't think so. That's the biggest fucking lie you've told. Eating a lot of food at once, that's a little taboo to me. Being damn near 400 pounds. It's not. It's not. Like, even like eating during sex, I don't think that'd be a taboo situation. I know, you're a liar.
Really do my research.
I'm okay with getting bigger because I know that he'll take care of me.
Cringe. Yeah, but see, once you start getting chest pains and you can't walk more than a couple feet without dry heaving, and you decide that, yo, I need to lose weight because I'm gonna fucking die, he is going to drop you so fucking fast that you will fall to the center of the earth. He's like, as soon as you decide that this is not good for your health, he's gonna get rid of you. I know he's gonna take care of me. He can't take care of you if you're fucking dead, and if you're too big to put in a coffin, motherfucker. I know he'll take care of. He'll take care of me. Let's hope he can cover all those medical bills for all the conditions you're gonna have because of how big you are.
I'm always open to, meeting new people. If I'm interested in a woman and I think it's gonna go far, then, I'll bring it up.
But will Justin get a grilling when he...
see, look how big they already are. Imagine looking at her and be like, you know what? They're not big enough yet. They need to get bigger. I'm sorry, but they're just so scrawny right now. How the fuck am I supposed to put my tongue all the way up to their sphincter? How am I supposed to feel like I'm in 20 gallons of how am I supposed to feel like I'm in 20 gallons of lard once they sit on my face if they're not at the right weight, damn it? Like, he's talking like he's training them for a boxing match. Like, they gotta get their weight up. I don't know, I'm like a coach, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Deborah Gonzalez says, okay, I'm gonna go. Thanks for having me. Love your content, Jay Longbone. Yeah, bye. If you're leaving because of this fucking shit, I don't blame you at all. I'd leave too. But bye. Oh, and Usagi393 says, on a positive side, they may get so big that they crush him during sex one day. God willing. But yeah, the end, like, she was gonna say something at the end. What was it?
I'll bring it up.
But will Justin get a grilling when he reveals he wants to order up an extra serving and add a fourth person to the relationship?
What?
That is enough. We good.
What? Oh no. He wants to add another bitch. He wants to add another heifer to the stable. To the stable? What? Yeah, this isn't gonna go over well. Because, well, the lesbian chick will be fine because she can probably have the other chick to herself temporarily because he'll be so busy with the new chick. But the hetero chick who's with him isn't gonna fucking tolerate that. Like, you really think she's gonna share? No. Because the other chick's a lesbian. She doesn't have to share. The lesbian chick is just there to enhance everything. So she doesn't have. So the hetero chick doesn't have to worry about competition. But now they're bringing another chick in who's well likely is going to be a hetero chick. So this isn't going to end well at all. I mean, it's already not going to end well because death, obesity. But now they're bringing in this other chick. Oh, yeah, no. I need to see a follow-up because you know it's not going to end well. You know it's going to be... You know it's going to be a garbage fire. All right, you know what? Let me get this set up for you guys. I'm going to get this set up, and like I said, another intermission. I'm going to get some more of this shepherd's pie. I have an invisible feeder boyfriend.
The man.
Okay. Oh, I mean, it's private as in my playlist is private. Oh, my bad. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I'll be right back. I have to get some more shepherd's pie because that was actually pretty fire. Okay, give me one more minute. I need some water. All right, I am back. Okay, this one. Oh, wait. Shit. Get my shepherd's pie in a little closer. This one is... This one's kind of old. Oh, no, it isn't. It came out in March. Okay. This one is about this actress chick. She's a feminist actress, which means she's a failed actress. How this actress's hilarious impressions call out Hollywood sexism. It is pretty... It's pretty obvious what her motivations are. But yeah, let's find out.
Historically, you, my brave Caucasian husband, are the person who racism hits hardest.
I'm a nurse. I know it seems like it should matter that I'm barely creeping into frame, but I promise you it does not.
These lines are gonna end up getting cut, yeah?
I am just a huge Oscars buff. The year before it had been Keira Knightley and Felicity Jones in The Imitation Game and The Theory of Everything, and so you...
Alright. Already, we gotta stop the bullshit train. Number one, most of the roles that Felicity Jones and Keira Knightley have been in recently that they have been nominated for Oscars for have been period pieces. So if the women seem kind of submissive and, you know, like they're housewives and they seem more submissive than the male characters, well, that's because because of the generation that takes place in. And plus, we should mention The Imitation Game. See, I haven't seen that, so I can't comment on that. But there's this other movie. The fuck? Because I'm sure she's gonna talk about, what was that movie? The one. Well, no, let's just keep going, because who knows? She might not even mention it.
Kept seeing sort of the same Oscars for your consideration clip.
I have loved you. Who do the things that no one can imagine.
Those are two incredible actresses, but it's like still they were in service of these dudes getting the showcase pieces, even like their biggest moment.
Yeah, because when you do a fucking movie about Stephen Hawking, who's paying attention to his fucking wife? And they still get big enough roles anyway, because yeah, they make it seem like the wives are like the most important thing in the man's life. Like, I wouldn't be here without my woman. My woman was, you know, holding it down, supporting me, you know, putting up with my bullshit. Like, that's not sexist. Yeah, the generation they were in, yeah, women were a little bit more submissive, and they weren't doing as much as dudes were, but they were still supportive, and they were still like, they're still portrayed as someone being very important in these men's life. So I can see if they were just in the fucking background and they're like, oh, it's my fucking bitch wife. Can you make me some fucking meatloaf, please?
Moments in their movies were about supporting the man.
We'll get through this. I know it. You mustn't forget.
She is good at doing that breathy British accent, but it's being used for evil. So I don't. So fuck her.
Extraordinary. I was coming out of an audition for a totally different thing, and I was just super disheartened. And I was like, God, and I'm killing myself to not get this part when even
It's probably why you ain't working, bitch.
At the top of their game are scratching at each other to get these roles where they just like.
How the fuck you know they're scratching at each other? You don't know that, but anyway, this is where my theory comes in that she's just fucking jealous, because she's not mocking the directors, like the casting directors and the screenwriters, directors, and all that. She's not calling them out. She is parodying and mocking these women who are taking these roles. If she was serious, she would fucking like, look, these casting directors, we need to do this a little differently. We need to she should show what these actresses should be doing instead of just mocking what they do. But see, that's the thing. It's catty and jealousy cattiness and jealousy disguised as feminism, which is what feminism is nowadays. It's just like cattiness, pettiness, disguised because I will give them this. They do believe that the stereotype that women can't be catty towards each other. We have to be always nice and polite. But see, the feminists who do this, they believe that shit. That's them believing that shit, and they put all this fucking pressure on themselves to be that, and then they use feminism as an outlet for that, because they don't want to be nice and submissive. They want to be nice and still have their little edge going, and she wants to pretend like she's calling out sexism in Hollywood and calling out men in Hollywood. No, bitch, you're making fun of chicks who are more successful than you. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100, bitch. You're jealous of these actresses who are getting all these they're still getting nominated. They're getting nominated for Oscars. They're getting critical acclaim. Regardless of what, if it's just a shitty role, then how are they getting all this acclaim? And there's been plenty of women who have gotten Oscar nominations for playing lead characters and for playing characters who are not supporting to a man. So I don't even Get him, bitch.
Lovingly stare at a man and tell him how special he is. That was the first one that
I'm sorry, but is Stephen Hawking not fucking special? And I think The Imitation Game wasn't the lead character gay? So that doesn't really work. Does it really count if you're a fag hag? I don't know.
I did. It kept gaining momentum every time I did it, and it felt cathartic. The trope characters kept getting more and more meta and self-aware of the movie they were in.
Oh, hey, insert name here, right? I am nonchalantly guessing a name that is not your actual name, but does start with the same letter and or vowel sound as your actual name. This show of vague remembrance will galvanize you in your quest to win me, while reminding you that our interactions, so monumental to you, are mere blips on my social radar, despite the fact that I seemingly speak to a maximum of 2 people other than you.
Bechdel test is bullshit! Stop using that as a fucking reference! Fucking, I think 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight passed the Bechdel test! Fucking stop it! Stop using that. It's 2019. It's the year of our Lord. 2019. Stop fucking referencing the Bechdel test. It's like... I'm gonna get Tony Soprano for a second. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
There's so few roles already that when you get the one, even if you
so few my ass, like stop it.
know it's not a great role, you will commit to it and try to do your best to put.
I love how she just completely discounts the actress's performance. Because that's what they're being nominated for at the Oscars, their performance. So it doesn't really matter how shitty the role is. If they perform the hell out of it, then, yeah, that's what they're being judged on. I'm like, I will admit, the Oscars is definitely fucking biased. And they go for what's safe and what, oh, this reminds me of back in my day when we had Gilda Radner or some shit. I think Gilda Radner is from SNL. But it sounded like an old-timey name, so I just used that. It reminded me of Betty Boop or some bullshit. They nominate people that remind them of characters from their day. That's why they get nominated. Yeah, all the boring Oscar movies always get nominated for shit. But that still doesn't discount the fact that their performances are good. So
all of these things that are not on the page there. The sort of danger of that is that you will do so well in a role that isn't written that well, that then the writer doesn't realize that they didn't actually give you a great role. Some people will respond to various videos and say like, oh, this is such a roast of X, Y, or Z actress, and it's never about the actress. What they are tasked with is the thing that I want to examine.
Bullshit, because you do the whole voice. You imitate their fucking voices. You imitated Felicity Jones's voice. So don't fucking backtrack because you got caught. Because people are calling you out. Oh, a $4.99 super chat from Leah X of the Underworld 2. Allison Bechtel didn't even intend for the Bechdel test to be a legit measurement of how feminist a movie is. It was a joke. It's kind of like how everyone thinks Romeo and Juliet is a legitimate romance movie, but it's really a fucking parody of romance stories. Yeah. It's really sad. Like, it's so cringe when you see people misinterpret something like that. Ugh. But, I don't know what role this is, but that looks like Kathleen Quinlan. I don't know. Let's just keep going.
And point at and say, like, give them
more to do. Give these women more to do.
Oh, thank you, Leah, for the super chat, by the way.
Than to stand behind a dude or...
If you're doing a fucking movie about... If you're doing a fucking biopic about a great fucking person, guess what? The supporting characters are not going to get that much play. They're not going to be... Because they want to focus on the great person, the genius person. Let's just be fucking honest. Like, you're just being passive aggressive because you're jealous that your career is not taking off the way you want it to. I try my best not to get these roles. Like, you don't have the fucking luxury to do that. That's the thing. These actresses, Keira Knightley and all them, they have the luxury to pick and choose what the fuck they want to do. You are probably just some barmaid, like, making like these salty ass videos on these actresses. Your career ain't going well. So to say, like, oh, I'm really selective about my roles. How, bitch? How? You're not doing nothing. And I love how she can do, like, great imitations, but she ain't moving up. Because she's too busy worried about what other people are doing. Like I said, Keira Knightley and Felicity Jones and all them, they can talk that shit. Oh, I try not to get these types of roles because that's not for me. I don't know why you're getting sedity about fucking your career. You don't have the luxury to do that. You're probably still eating ramen. The fuck you talking about?
Just be in service to some man's story. It is getting better, but that's also because we have started getting more women into the room and more female writers, female directors. Men especially, in writing female characters need to be deliberate and see when, okay, this character that I'm writing is falling in.
When you're writing a fucking movie about Stephen Hawking, whoever's next to Stephen Hawking is not going to be as well written as Stephen fucking Hawking. It's just the way it is. Yeah, all the characters should be well-rounded and well-written, but like I said, it's not sexist. It's just like an Oscar. It's just an Oscar bait movie, and they're gonna focus more on the important character than all the other characters. Like Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't give a flying fuck about the rest of the goddamn band. Nobody did. Like, yeah, they had fun banter and shit, but they didn't have their own, like, separate personalities. They were just, like, one big blob of irrelevant compared to Freddie Mercury. No one gave a shit about the fucking side characters in Bohemian Rhapsody. And guess what the majority of that cast was? Fucking male. It has nothing to do with fucking gender. It's got everything to do, like, biopics are just shit. They're not that good. They're usually cheesy and corny, and they only care about pimping out is this image about this one fucking character. Snickerdoodles, a $1.99 super chat. Her shoulders must be chilly. Thank you, Snickerdoodles.
Into this trope, would my film be better served by making this character more fleshed out? I love Miranda Priestley in Devil Wears Prada so much. What I think the Devil Wears Prada does so expertly is set up what you think is going to be a nightmare boss trope where she doesn't get any layers, and then there are just occasional cracks in her veneer that you see, and it keeps it surprising.
Yeah, you notice how she compares biopics to The Devil Wears fucking Prada, which is like, it's based on a real, like, her character is based on a real person, but it's not the person. Really? You use fucking, what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. Blake Lively. You use Blake Lively's fucking, of course, her side character is not like even though she's supposed to be like a skangy hoe, and they're not fucking three-dimensional. She was a skangy not crack. She wasn't on crack, but she was on pills. But like, I'd say crack hoe because I don't know. Pillhead. She was a skangy pillhead, sponging off whatever man she was with. Of course, she's one-dimensional. It's intentional. Now it was still, but see, she was still really well. She acted the shit out of it. She played Skangy really well, Blake Lively. I thought she was great. So the way she's written really doesn't matter because this is a bad example. A Skangy pillhead is not going to be written three-dimensionally unless it is the starring role. But like she's a supporting actress playing a Skangy like trailer park pillhead. She's not going to be three-dimensional. Get over that.
If you're not seeing interesting stories by women on screen, you're gonna assume that they're not as interesting in life.
Yeah, because we can really tell by you. If we use you as a reference, we really wouldn't think women are interesting at all. Because if this is all you have to fucking complain about. And we don't need really need movies. It's not movies that are giving us the image that women aren't that interesting. It's feminist. it's feminist. Oh, shit. It's fucking... Whenever I rant and drink at the same time, I start... just start dripping everywhere. I hope my commentary inspires others. It won't. It won't.
I hope it makes them rethink one choice. Hey, we have all men producing. What if we brought a...
And she, another thing, she kind of acts like Keira fucking Knightley. And Ashley Judd. She acts like these bitches have no choice but to play these roles. There are no good roles for these women. They have no choice but to play these submissive, supporting females. Which is like, why is that so horrible to you? That there are women out there who support their fucking husbands. And they might not be as interesting because they kind of stay home and do their own thing. Why is that so fucking horrible to you? But whatever. The fuck was I gonna say? She acts like these powerful actresses. These well-renowned actresses have no other options. None. And they have never played a tough three-dimensional main character ever. I could give you a couple, like even supporting character, like with Keira Knightley, where she's been a supporting character and just as useful and interesting as the lead male character. I can give you a few with her. Same with Ashley Judd and Felicity Jones. Like you're picking and choosing what you want to complain about. There's plenty of options for actresses. People kiss actresses' asses. Like, stop it. Just because you have not succeeded in Hollywood does not mean there's limited choices. People just don't fucking like you. People don't think you're talented. That's why you haven't done anything.
A woman on, what if we changed this thing about the character that would make the project feel more inclusive?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, she's just like one of those jealous hoes. She sees these actresses doing the damn thing with these roles that she sees as beneath her, and it's jealousy. Because she imitates their acting style, everything. So you can't say you're not making fun of them because you are. Anyway, now I got some article. Well, hold on. Bri-Fi, if you're out there, what's that video you wanted me to check out? It was, what was it? Fuck. It was Mike.com and about sexist emails. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. I think I see what you were talking about. Hang on. I think I got it ready. Let's rig it up. I think I found it.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help.
The fuck?
This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It undermines the writer's message, and the word choice is bland.
Okay, Bref, I think I found it.
Most women I know will reread and rewrite and reread their emails to make sure that there is no typo in it. They'll make sure that they're incredibly polite.
Yeah, that it's called being meticulous. I know I'm already correcting her before we get to any mention of sexism, but yeah. It's called being meticulous.
And nice, and they do that by thousands of emojis and exclamation points. And here's the thing, men don't do that. If it sounds
How would you know that? Are you standing over people of different genders and be like, okay, are you doing it? Who's doing what? How do men do it? How do women do it? Come on.
it's harsh or there's a typo in it, they don't care and they just press send. One of the examples I talk about.
Because men are dumb. They always misspell everything and just send it out because they run the fucking world, right?
And my book is about how, we expect boys to take their space up in the world, but we constantly expect girls and women to not do that. It stops us from just saying whatever the hell we want to say. When I, present a thing, men don't do that. If it sounds harsh or there's a typo in it, they don't care and they just press send. One of the examples I talk about in my book is about how, we expect boys to take their space up in the world, but we constantly expect girls and women to not do that.
No, it's just boys are more aggressive. They're just more aggressive, naturally. No one's telling them, oh yeah. Well, you're supposed to fucking tell your kids that they can do anything, that they can be anything as long as they put their mind to it, blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to encourage them, period. Full stop. But see, because boys are naturally more aggressive than women, they go harder at things than women do. Simple shit.
It stops us from just saying whatever the hell we want to say. When I present a bravery challenge, I ask women to practice imperfection. We are marred by perfectionism. It conditions us to go so quickly from I made a typo to I'm dumb, I'm stupid, oh my god, I'm gonna get fired, all in
Bitch, that's just you. That's just you. That's you. Stop projecting your fucking weirdnesses on all women. This is you who thinks this dumb shit. Oh, I made a typo. I'm stupid. I'm worthless. Who the fuck thinks that? Who is not mentally unstable? I've never thought that. Oh, I misspelled something. I said, oh god, I'm so stupid because I misspelled that simple word. But I don't really mean it. It's playful. It's oh god, I'm so dumb. Let me redo that. And it's not because I'm a girl. It's because I don't like misspelling shit. It's just me. Jesus.
10 seconds. And that's the behavior that I'm trying to get women to actually unlearn.
Oh, she's got AirPods. That's how you know she's a jackass. Because she has AirPods. No offense to anyone, my subscribers who may have them. But I just don't think it's smart to have earbuds that are so tiny and have no, and that are they're really easy to lose, that are that expensive. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Why you would buy earrings are fine because that's jewelry. And they kind of have to stay in your ear. But those are you could easily lose that shit. And they cost a fortune. Why the hell would you buy that? Why? I think the only reason anyone would buy earbuds is to flex on other people. That's the only reason. Because why else would you buy that shit? Just No offense. Like I said, no offense to anyone who has them, but you're a jackass. Stop buying that shit.
And to actually unlearn. We have been so conditioned to, in the way that we communicate, not come off as being direct because we're afraid of not being liked, of being called a bitch, of being aggressive. If we...
The fuck are you getting this from? Just where the fuck are you? Where are you getting this research from? Where are you getting your data? How are? What's your control group, bitch? Shit, oh god, it's so frustrating.
We can start getting into the practice of like lifting up that shield and like being direct and saying what we want to say. I think that we get closer to like building a society and a culture where if you're a strong woman, if you're direct, you're not penalized. This is the thing I feel like I've been seeing about really successful.
Oh, and of course, it uses a fucking picture with Anastasia Cortez Cortisone Vicks Vaporub. I don't fucking know her name. But that fucking crazy bitch who went from being a bartender to a goddamn politician somehow. I don't know. That hoe, the big ass Julia Roberts mouth. And like the spray can brain. Yeah, that bitch. Oh, what? Really successful women like Cardi B or Alec. What? No! What? Shut up. What? Those are her examples? Wait, rewind it. Hang on, rewind it a bit.
Woman, if you're direct, you're not penalized. This is the thing I feel like I've been seeing about really successful women like Cardi B or Alexandria Ocasio.
What? No! A rapist and a moron. They get a fucking thieving hood rat and a complete moron. Those are your examples? Oh, actually, she's not just a moron. She's a belligerent moron. But holy shit! There is a video out there of one chick saying how horrible it was to work for Cardi B because she's a total, like, damn near sociopathic bitch. And plus that whole controversy that just came out with her admission of her fucking drugging men, raping them, and robbing them. How the fuck you could even... When did this come out? When did this come out? I can't see it from here. Hold on. No, wait, yeah, I can. Hang on. When did this come out? This only came out 10 days ago. 10 fucking days ago. I don't know how old that Cardi B controversy is, but what? That is not the hill you want to die on. Oh my god. If you had said Nicki Minaj, I would have been like, she's still trash too, but it's okay. Cardi fucking B, the rapist? Imagine making a video about how important it is to have strong, assertive men, and you use Chris Brown and Harvey Weinstein as an example. When you were just so... No! Let's go.
They don't care what other people think.
Which is the problem. Which is why they're so there's some self-awareness and awareness of how other people perceive us is important sometimes. Acknowledging how much of a twat you are is a good thing sometimes. When you gotta reel yourself in to reflect sometimes. I'm not saying like make every fucking person's opinion about you the most important thing and care about what other people think all the time. But here's the thing. If more than one person is calling you a moron every time you try to sound smart, then maybe you should examine why they're saying that. If people are consistently calling you an idiot all the time, you may want to examine what you are saying or what they are saying about you. You might want to have some kind of self-reflection. Jesus Christ. I know this is going to sound bad, but these fucking women nowadays. Oh, God, I'm turning more into, like, a grizzled old, like, 1950s white man, like, every day. Every day. These motherfuckers are doing this to me. I swear to God.
They say what they want to say. They do what they want to do. They live their life.
So they're basically, what the fuck do they call it? I fucking forgot what they called it, but it was some kind of psychological disorder.
And the question that we have to ask is courage contagious for men? Do men have the ability to kind of stand up and say, yeah, like women actually are penalized when they're direct. Women actually are penalized for being too assertive.
If the first conclusion you come to when someone tells you to shut up after you say something stupid is, you only saying that because I'm a woman, then you're a narcissist, and you really should probably shut the fuck up. Because if that's your, like, if every criticism against you, you answer with, you're sexist, then yeah, there's something wrong with you. Then maybe they're fucking right, and you just need to shut the hell up and listen. Wait, hang on, guys. These emails are piling up, and it's making me itch. I'm just gonna get rid of them right quick. But, like, as I was saying, like, just, how can you be such a fucking idiot? Oh, like, everything I say is completely infallible. Everything I say is completely right. Whatever criticism I get is because the world is sexist, and they just can't handle how fucking bae and woke and how much of a queen I am. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're just breeding an entire generation of narcissists. Just breeding an entire generation of, like, weak-willed narcissists. It's sickening. Ugh.
And I think it's a moment for men to actually be reflective and to figure out what's the role that they have in actually shifting and changing this behavior. Because I think that there is a huge role for them. Send an email with a typo in it that's semi-consequential with no emojis and no explanation points. And tell me what happens. Because I promise you...
What's going to happen is they're going to call you an idiot. Like, why didn't you proofread this? Or turn on spell check before you sent this out? That's what they're going to say. Like, what the fuck are you doing over there? You moron? I mean, you think men are just, like, sending out poorly spelled emails with shitty grammar and just like, fuck it. And like and then you think that actually it's not just about what they're sending out, it's about it's about the feedback you're gonna get for that. And like, are you trying to say that no one holds men accountable for their fuck ups? But or maybe they do and they don't take it to heart because because men are just so fucking narcissistic and awful. Is that what you're trying to say? Because that sounds like fucking projection. God damn it! I dare you to misspell your entire email. Send it to someone and see what happens. They're gonna tell you, like, turn on your fucking spell check, moron.
Nothing's gonna happen. No one cares.
Okay, if no one cares, then why does it matter if guys do it? I don't know, because it's just implications. Implications. A part of me does want to look up Riley Dennis's email. Not email. Riley Dennis's channel to see if he came out with anything cringe. Because I haven't really been paying attention to him lately. He hasn't been... I don't think he's tweeted anything. 1-0-0. Oh, he released a video of a trip to their trip to New Zealand. Yeah, you know, pimping out his Patreon. But they're like taking trips to New Zealand and shit. I feel like Tony Soprano. Because I've been watching a lot of Sopranos clips lately. And it's like that scene from The Sopranos where like I'm giving you this money, but I'm giving you, you're talking about how you're struggling. I'm giving you this money, but you got a Cadillac in the fucking driveway? It's like that. It's like, what the fuck? How are you affording trips and shit? You're only making like $900 a month. I don't know. I assume like this is the last time I heard about his Patreon. Oh, Bri-Fi, another $2 super chat. Do queer kid stuff and oh right, you told me about that and I forgot about it. Okay, let me see. Oh god, queer kid stuff and Riley. Why does it say I already watched it? The fuck? Huh, that's weird.
I recently read an article about the person in today's video. It said,
go back.
I get tons of hate online.
Hang on a second. Yeah, this is, that's what's his name. Fuck. Okay, this was 3 weeks ago. This must be it right here.
Hey there, friends.
I accidentally clicked on, Sinatra Says His video. Queer Kid Stuff, of course, has their comments disabled. Hang on a second. I'll get this rigged up for y'all in a second.
Hey there, friends. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy.
Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff.
Hi.
Today we're talking about...
Hi. Whoa, what was that, Lindsay?
That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about...
It happened again.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. We're talking about transition. That's not funny. That is not funny. We're using transitions to show that we're talking about transitioning. Fuck. Oh, God. You disgrace the good name of Red Giant Universe plugins. Because that's what they are. That's what that last one was.
Happened again.
Are you getting it, Teddy?
What is it? Tell me.
We're talking about transition.
Oh. I don't get it.
Queer Kid Stuff.
Wait a minute.
You are...
I don't get it.
We're talking about transition.
Oh. I don't get it.
That's the first self-aware piece of humor from Queer Kid Stuff. Bravo. Because most of the people watching your videos say,
Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff. Ready, Teddy?
Ready, Lindsay.
Okay.
I wonder if we can spot that gloved hand. that puppet's Teddy. I remember flipping out when I saw it because it was just so creepy. It was just this guy with a leather glove controlling Teddy. It was so disturbing. Let's see if we can find him again. Then again, who knows? They might have upped their budget. You know, I guess they have that in the budget. Like make videos less creepy.
Today we're talking about transitions. Teddy, you already know what a transition is.
I do?
We just did one.
He just fucking said they didn't know what the fuck. He didn't know what the fuck that meant. What are you talking about?
We did?
Yeah. Well, let's do it again and see if you can
Keep in mind, Teddy's brain is nothing but fucking cotton.
Ready, Teddy?
I already told you I'm ready, Lindsay.
Teddy, that's our transition.
Oh, it is?
A transition is when you are between things or places or activities. Like when we go from our theme song back to the episode topic.
Oh.
Teddy, what do you usually do?
That was the longest.
School after you have free playtime.
We read a story.
Okay, well, what happens in between playtime and story time?
Oh, we clean up.
That's right.
Is that a transition?
Exactly. That's one kind of a transition.
That's not a very fun transition.
Well, maybe not, but transitions are super important because they're how we experience
For one
change.
thing, transitioning isn't fun at all. Which I think a lot of trans people would tell you. And the fact that you seem to think it is, from what you've just implied there, means that no child should be watching this shit.
We use transitions for lots of different things.
But what does that have to do with us and queer kid stuff?
I was just about to get to that. I know it's been a while, Teddy, but do you remember what the T stands for in LGBT?
Like, come on, Teddy, get with the program. Like, you've been here how long? And you know the theme of the show by now. It's like it's LGBT shit. You should know this by now. Come on, step it up, Teddy. See, Teddy is like the hardened, alcohol-laden talk show host. He's been there too long. Sometimes he doesn't know about the topics they're talking about for the day, and he just needs to retire at this point.
LGBTQ+.
Trans. It stands for trans or transgender.
That's right. And what does it mean to be
Okay, so why the fuck were you acting all brand new in the beginning of the goddamn segment? This is already weighing on me.
Trans.
It's when you do not identify with your assigned gender.
That's right. Being trans means that the gender and pronouns you identify with don't match the gender you were...
Actually, being transgender means you have transitioned. Like, not only do you not fit in with your birth gender, you've also transitioned into being another gender, in the other gender. Like, don't fucking tell kids that shit. Don't make it so fucking vague. Specify. This kid shouldn't be watching this shit any goddamn way, but if you're gonna do it, can you do it right?
Assigned when you were born.
But what does that have to do with transition?
Well, sometimes trans and non-binary grown-ups go through what we call a transition.
They do?
Non-binary people do not fucking transition. Come on. How does that even work? Because non-binary people are either both or neither. So how does that's not a thing. They do not transition. By definition, they do not transition. The fuck you talking about? Oh, yeah, non-binary people. Oh, Nico Wolf asked, "What is non-binary?" It's basically like they identify as either like neither gender or both, or just some other fucking gender. I know one fucking thing: they do not transition. So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Not all trans and non-binary people go through a transition, but
which completely defeats the purpose of being called trans.
a lot do. And transitions can look totally different from one person to another. Why don't we give my friend Riley a call? She'll help me explain.
No, he won't. He's just gonna muddle the waters even more. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Riley.
And considering this person is on their channel talking about Fortnite and sex toys simultaneously, I don't think it's a good idea that kids be exposed to this person. Because they're gonna get curious, go to his channel, and find out that he talks about a lot of sexually charged topics. Not a good look. Queer kid stuff. Like, it was never a good look, but this is an even worse look. This is bell bottoms. This is bell bottoms and Cosby sweaters. This is a bad look.
Hi.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Riley, what are...
He seems so happy to be there. I don't want to be associated with you Americans anymore.
your pronouns and how do you identify?
I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I'm a non-binary trans woman.
Riley.
Which makes no sense. It makes no sense. That makes no sense. How are you a girl, but also both at the same time? How does that work, Riley? That makes no sense. It's just pure just wanting it all. I want to be like being being a lesbian is not enough for him. He needs to be. That's why I don't feel guilty about calling him referring to him as a guy or using guy pronouns, because he doesn't know what the fuck he is. Yeah, you're a lesbian, but you also want to have like special privileges of be known as something completely different than that. How does that fucking even work? That's why I just say fuck it and call him a he, because I just don't give a shit. Plus, he's an asshole anyway, so. And I don't really buy that he's actually trans to begin with. So that's why I just say fuck it.
I was just trying to explain transitioning to Teddy. Can you help me out?
Sure, a gender transition is when a trans or non-binary person does something so their gender identity matches their gender presentation. This can look really different for different trans and non-binary people. For a trans woman, it might be as simple as growing her hair long, but there are lots of things you can do. Some grown-ups take hormones, either estrogen...
Riley, could you try, make an attempt to act like a human being. Just act like you're not being held hostage. act like you're not part of a sex trafficking ring for once.
Estrogen.
Or testosterone.
Testosterone. Got it.
Testosterone. Because I'm a bear and I'm a little kid bear and we misspell things. I have a hand up my ass.
Estrogen helps someone present more feminine, and testosterone helps someone present more masculine, like growing facial hair. Some trans and non-binary grown-ups might get surgery as part of their transition. There are lots of different kinds of surgery. Usually we talk about top surgery and bottom surgery. Those kinds of surgeries help trans and non-binary people feel more at home in their bodies.
What does that mean? What's a body home?
Some people don't totally
What's
feel...
a body home? Like, no one... That is your phrase. No one fucking said that. What's a body home? And he sounded like suspiciously Canadian there. What's a body home?
Trans and non-binary people feel more at home in their bodies.
What does that mean? What's a body home?
Some people don't...
I don't know why it makes me laugh. What's a body home?
Don't totally feel comfortable with their bodies.
Oh, then they should watch our video about body positivity.
They definitely should, Teddy.
No, they
But
shouldn't.
sometimes it's a little...
Go to a fucking professional therapist. Don't ever go to a fucking YouTuber to feel better about yourself. Don't ever do that. No.
More complicated than that. It really depends on the person, but some trans and non-binary people need to do certain things to feel like they've fully transitioned, and others might feel totally happy with their transition just by taking hormones or changing their clothes.
That's right, Lindsay. Some trans and non-binary kids might transition too. Kids who are trans and non-binary can take something called a hormone blocker that stops their estrogen or testosterone.
So they're basically admitting that there are fucking kids who transition. And because remember, like, they're marketing their channel towards children. Oh God, that's why whenever I always get like the I always like normal, like other people. I always get like I always see, like, whenever I see a YouTuber do a video on queer kid stuff, I'm like, okay, haven't we done enough? Like, isn't that enough? Like, do we really need to keep talking about this idiot? And then, but then I remember that they're pimping out this idea that children can transition, and then they're pimping it out to other kids, and then I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. Yeah, you YouTubers who talk about them, you keep making your paper, boo-boo. Like, keep doing the damn thing. I don't give a shit. their comments are disabled anyway. So, like, when they'll be on their way out one of these days. Like, just, this is something you should not be teaching children, because a lot of these fucking parents who will let kids do shit like this, they're not attentive parents. They're not watching what their kids are watching every day. They're not monitoring them and making sure they're not looking at shit that could confuse them or damage them. They're not doing that. So you got to be careful. You cannot fucking tell kids about this shit, because they're gonna think there's already these implications that transitioning is fun. It's cool, and you as a child can also transition. That being trans is a feeling and not a fucking, and that dysphoria is like, I don't think they even talked about dysphoria. It's like, but they think being trans is a feeling, and that it's not a fucking mental illness. it's just they're not being honest. But that's the thing. Kids don't understand deep shit like that. They don't understand like complex topics like this. That's why you should just shut the fuck up and not tell them about it until they're ready to know about it. Because they'll look at this moron like, oh, they're saying being trans is fun. They're saying being trans is feeling a certain way, and they're not gonna, oh god, and they're gonna take that the wrong way.
Testosterone, so it's easier for them to transition when they're grown-ups. But it's really, really important to talk to your grown-ups and a doctor about that if you think it's something you might want.
I think we've covered it, Riley.
I love how you just keep interrupting Riley. It's like, can you edit, like, oh god. You know you can edit it in a way where you don't fucking interrupt these people. Like, come on.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Riley.
Bye.
Grown-ups, don't forget to check out Riley's channel. She has tons of...
Oh, Snickerdudes did say, remember Jay Longbone, they think they don't need to have dysphoria to be trained. Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's another fucking issue.
Super informative videos about the LGBTQ plus community.
And you might want to wipe off your screen if you're gonna present your laptop at that angle, because that looks gross.
The current events, pop culture, and even some kids media thrown in there. Don't forget to...
Yeah, kids media. You mean like the fucking Fortnite video when she was unwrapping sex toys? You mean that kids media? Oh, why the fuck? Again, if you are new to my channel, there is a stream where I watch a video of Riley fucking Dennis unwrapping sex toys as he's playing Fortnite. Yeah. This is the fucking channel that she is directing children to. Yep. Oh, boy.
Subscribe to Queer Kid Stuff and to support our videos through monthly donations on Patreon, like the...
Wiz Division says that was pretty tame for a Riley feature, to be honest. Yeah, because, well, you gotta think about the kids, you know? You can't get too hard into certain details. You know? I mean, you can imply that being trans is a cool thing to do, and not tell kids that, oh yeah, having dysphoria is a mental illness, and being trans is not sunshine and rainbows, you know. Yeah, those implications are fine, but yeah, Riley can't, like, he couldn't go all out. Couldn't get too adult with these kids. Don't want him to learn anything.
These awesome people. You can also make a one-time donation through our PayPal. This season, we're coming at you every other Sunday on YouTube. But if you become a paid subscriber to our Vimeo page, you can get every single Queer Kid Stuff video ad-free and a whole week earlier than everyone else.
That was a lot of announcements, Lindsay.
Well,
we'll
see you next time at Queer
Kid Stuff.
Brian was that they don't list their Patreon supporters. Yeah. Because usually you're supposed to edit them in. Like, were they expecting to, like, use annotations for that? That was embarrassing. Oh, Killswitch Engage said, do you think that Teddy is dumb because the leather-gloved man slips Teddy things to control him? Now, like I said, Teddy, well, he's got a brain made of cotton, you know. Sometimes it can't be helped. Yeah, he was kind of meant, it was destined for him to be dumb. You know, he was born dumb. Okay, what we got next? Oh, should I do this first? This? Now, you know what? I think I'll do this first. Okay. I got this one art. Now we're getting to the articles. But hang on a second. I have to get some shit ready. Okay, here we go. But I have to move myself. Oh no. Oh wait, no. Just what the fuck? Oh, sorry guys. I think I'm fine right there. Okay, anyway. Ugh. Okay, now we're getting to the articles. This one is... Has Trump wrecked our sex life? Post-Trump sex disorder is real, says sex therapist. Yep. Basically, not only is Trump being blamed for everything under the sun, from natural disasters to like Nazis existing, he's being blamed for people not getting ass the way they used to. This is where we're at. This is where we are at. Okay, wait. Well, no, that's right. I can't do that. Fuck. But yeah, this is where we're at. Now, since I'm on my browser now, it's going to be kind of difficult to read Super Chat. So if I miss one of you guys, don't take it personally. It's because I'm on my browser and I can't... I'm on my official browser and I can't... I have to switch back and forth between my Super Chats and my browser. But yeah, let's get to this. Oh god. This is horrible. Oh, Big Mean Sex Daddy. What the fuck? Big Mean Sex Daddy. Salon turns to Dr. Susan Block. Excuse me. For answers to questions you didn't want to ask. Oh god. Like, if it's questions we don't want to ask, then maybe you just shouldn't fucking answer it. I mean, I'm just saying. Donald Trump has made America's mental health crisis much worse. I love how people want to treat Trump like he's, like, simultaneously, like he is, like, the biggest blight on the country. Like he's some kind of super villain who is purposely ruining the country and everyone's lives. He's just like, he's a mad super genius. He's the mad king. And at the same time, pretend like he's a boorish, moronic clod. Like, make up your fucking mind about what you want this nigga to be. Because I'm kind of tired of people going back and forth with this shit. Make up your mind. Anyway. Beginning with his presidential campaign and through to his third year as through to his third year as president, the United States has experienced an increase in anxiety, suicide, depression, and other mental health problems. Yeah. You think it could have had anything to do with people being constantly having positivity and like a false sense of importance, self-esteem and importance shoved up their ass? You think that could have had something to do with it? And the constant like fucking coddling that we do to people? You think that could have had that and a few other things contributed to that. But this, just because someone says they have anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts doesn't mean they actually do. That's another thing, just saying. The president of the United States is the president. I know, I'm just getting mumbly for some reason because my sinuses. But the president of the United States is also a role model. His or her behavior influences the public. That That's kind of true. And as, I mean, well, it depends. And as documented by Dr. James Gillian in his book, Why Some Politicians Are More Dangerous Than Others. Yeah, great title. Totally subtle. Trump's assault on the country's mental health is part of a much larger pattern. The Republican Party and conservative movement have, for decades, advanced an agenda which has hurt the overall health and well-being of most Americans. You gonna be specific, or are we just gonna go straight into fuckery? Yeah, whatever. Donald Trump's negative impact on mental health extends to the intimate sexual lives of many people as well. Oh. Like Daddy Trump, Daddy Cockblock. He's not only does he have a wall between America and Mexico, he's got a wall between dick and vagina, because that's just how powerful he is. Somehow, that's just how powerful he is. What is post-traumatic Trump disorder? How does Donald Trump's misogyny and other unhealthy behavior towards women reflect deeper systemic cultural problems in America around gender, sex, and intimacy? Probably none, but... Oh, shit. In an effort to answer these questions, I recently spoke with Dr. Susan Block, Dr. Susie, because you can always trust someone named Dr. Susie, is the founder and director of the Dr. Susan Block Institute of the Erotic Arts and Sciences. Block is perhaps most well known for her HBO TV special, Radio Sex TV with Dr. Susan Block. Oh, so she's a television doctor. Another wonderful red flag. And appearances on HBO, appearances on HBO series such as Real Sex and Cat House. Okay, she's also a New York Times bestselling author and has been a frequent guest on such TV shows and networks as Oprah, Nightline, and MTV. So she's a TV doctor. Yeah, like I said, not a good sign. Her most recent book is The Bonobo Way: The Evolution of Peace Through Pleasure. How has the age of Trump impacted the American people's collective mental health and also their intimate lives? It has a big impact. For some people, Trump's campaign and presidency has created a type of PTSD. Whatever. What I call post-Trump sex disorder. Trump has created feelings of fear, loathing, and nausea. See, that's self-inflicted. I'm afraid of spiders jumping at you, and I'm afraid of escalators and falling down them and cracking my skull open. So I avoid escalators at every chance I get. But is that the escalator's fault? No. Does that mean it's gonna happen? No. Does that mean that my fear is 100% justified? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's just in your fucking head. Like I said, sometimes that shit is just all in your head. I don't think the chat is moving anymore. Hang on a second. Holy shit, I think my chat slowed down. Alright, hang on guys, just a second. I want to reload this chat. Because I think it's a little wonky. Because I was going to check the chat right quick. I was going to look over. But it does not seem to be well. Yeah, so hold on. YouTube. Okay. Yeah, 'cause I think it just froze. Still frozen in the spot. The fuck? Okay. Holy shit, are we finally back online? Oh, God. Oh, okay, guys, I think I'm back. Finally. Oh, God. Alright, hang on. Let me refresh the page. I was trying to get this shit situated while we were offline. Oh. Alright, guys. Yeah, okay, we're back. Happens every fucking stream recently. It's been like this. Well. Oh, God. Where the fuck did I leave off at? Nausea. Okay. Yeah, I think I see where we left off. Right around here. First, let me check you guys out. Make sure the chat is still moving correctly. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. My internet went out temporarily. And I really had to work to get this fucking shit back on. So if you're still hanging on there with me, thank you. Okay. Okay. People just don't want to have sex. Yeah, depression, or, you know, at least thinking you have depression will do that to you. Fuck. People just don't want to have sex. This would mainly be seen. Well, actually, it's partially because you have so many insufferable people on both sides of the political spectrum. They don't want to tolerate each other. That's another reason. This will mainly be seen with women who are just appalled and how creepy Trump is. Like, okay, wait, so they're so appalled by and creeped out by Trump. They don't want to fuck other people? What the fuck how does that even work? He takes what is often a positive male attribute of confidence and pushes it way over the line into rape-like and rape-entitled into a rape-entitled kind of arrogance. What? Where did I get this shit from? I know this is Salon, and I shouldn't be asking such stupid questions, but how did they come up with this garbage? The news media is part of the problem as well. The news is full of stories about bad sex. They don't really like to talk about good sex. Since when? Since motherfucking when? The media is always trying to make sex look like the best thing ever. What are you talking about? Plus, there's porn. You gotta count that. When you have this media obsession with bad sex, with the usual all-American worship and racism. Oh, war, worship, and racism. This is such delusion right now, as well as economic disparities and the way that corporations are in control. It really sucks the life out of a person. Never mind. No, it just sucks the life out of you if that's all you acknowledge. Like if you're one of those people who's always like into this political shit and you're always paying attention to it, of course you're gonna be depressed. That ain't Trump's fault. That's your fault. Like, get off the fucking internet and stop reading CNN once in a while. And take a fucking break. That's you. It's your fucking problem. Never mind how this moment with Donald Trump is also reflected by many men who are dysfunctional and chronically frustrated and who don't know how to properly approach women and see, now that we're getting somewhere, and lethally unhinged incels. Yeah, he didn't create incels. They've always been around. So we also cannot forget all of the ammosexuals who substitute their favorite guns for a working penis. Fuck you. Most Americans of conscience and decent people, bless you, are more generally, and decent people more generally are appalled by Donald Trump's personal and public behavior. Yet there are others who are aroused by Donald Trump and see him as a symbol of sexual potency and power. Yes. Yeah, that tan skin. I mean, look. I could, if you took Donald Trump's personality and put him in I don't know, like Chris Evans's body, I can see where you yeah, okay. But Donald Trump still looks like Donald Trump, and that's still an issue. Women would still take an issue with that. Yes, Donald Trump is a turnoff for many people, but some people, they are turned on and titillated by Donald Trump. They are not suffering from post-Trump sexual disorder. Sex does not always turn us on the way we think it ought to. A lot of people are attracted to bad boys. I emphasize people because it is both men and women who are aroused and attracted and titillated by Donald Trump. What fucking men are turned on by Donald Trump? There is definitely a homoerotic attraction for Trump being experienced by his usually very homophobic male supporters. What the fuck? Okay, so, Trump is now, what? Like a thirst trap for straight men? The fuck? Oh, this is such horseshit. Such horseshit. Trump. There's definitely a homoerotic attraction being experienced by his usually very homophobic male supporters. Yeah, they're all homophobic, all of them. We're not gonna give any examples like this. They're homophobic. Even though Donald Trump has never shown any signs of being homophobic, we know that his supporters are, because both men and women really do find Trump to be an appealing bad boy, an evil daddy who's really hot. Where do they get this? Is pure. Who wrote this? Chauncey. Let me take a little look at this guy for a minute. He doesn't have any pictures? I want to see some pictures of this dude. I want to see some pictures. Come on, yo. Oh, look at this. This is low rent. But it's a guy, clearly. But he has a pink blanket and he's snuggled up to his cat. And anyone else thinking what I'm thinking? That he might be a repressed homosexual who's secretly into Donald Trump and he's projecting all of his feelings onto his supporters, onto his male supporters? Am I the only one who thinks that? In this way, Donald Trump is the evil daddy of a dysfunctional United States family, and of course, evil can be very sexy. Okay, so wait. Like I said, they give Donald Trump all this power. I don't understand why. Like, they give him more power than his fucking supporters. Like, the people who hate him put him on a higher pedestal than his supporters. It is so fucking sad. Like, in the transitional period from Obama to Trump, that little gap of time, like the United States just changed as soon as Trump took office. Like, no transitional period. It was just like the world was one way when Obama was president, and It became another when Trump was president. No transitional period. You know, like oh God. It's literally that easy to turn the world into a dystopian hellhole just because you change presidents. It's that fucking easy. The president barely has to do anything to make life hell. Oh, anyway, in this way, Donald Trump is the daddy of. Okay, I read that already. Evil is fascinating. So already we're throwing out that Donald Trump is evil. Fabulous. As you said previously, Donald Trump is a cult leader, and Charlie Manson-like figure. When was this written? Hang on, let me bookmark that. Mark that. February of this year. People are just charged up by him, and some of those people are driven to commit great crimes by that kind of charisma. Oh yeah, you mean those two white Trump supporters who attacked Jussie Smollett in Chicago? Like those guys? Oh wait, that didn't fucking happen. It is almost the same as when you hear about a fetish. Oh God. And you say to yourself, I don't understand why everyone would be turned on by that, but people are. Yeah, so Trump supporters are just like fetishists, I guess. American society is very repressed in terms of healthy attitudes about sex. Therefore, it is no surprise that people will look to violence to express their sexuality. How did you make these connections? This motherfucker has some skeletons in his closet. That's the only way to explain this. Like, he was getting spanked by his mommy one day, and he was like, why do we conflate sex with violence a lot of the time? And it's like, oh, you know what? Trump is kind of like America's daddy. And then Trump supporters are kind of like, I don't know, his littles. So like when, so it's kind of like this, how my girlfriend's husband kind of like gives me spankies in my diaper sometimes. It's kind of like that. What the fuck? Honestly, where the fuck are you coming up with this? I want to see the data. I want to see the notes that you made before you wrote this hog shit. American society is very repressed in terms of, therefore is no surprise that people will look to violent. Okay, and this is why Donald Trump embodies the symbolic culture role as the big, mean, sexy daddy. The fuck? Donald Trump is a right-wing I always have a problem with pronouncing this. Authoritarian. Okay, authoritarian and aspiring tyrant. Whatever. The fascist concept of the state is very masculine in the most crude and basic sense. In this way of thinking about politics and society, Donald Trump leads a political cult whose members want to literally be inside of him. They're like Ant-Man inside of Thanos. They just want to shrink themselves, get into his asshole, and just expand. Oh. Someone please fucking help. What the hell? This has got to be a joke. But it's not. It's Salon. Like, someone wrote this. Someone was like, yeah, you know, this is fucking genius. They want to be inside him, guys. Hey, Trump supporters in the chat. How y'all feel about your daddy? You want Trump to give you cummies? What's going on? Honestly, what the hell? Holy shit. They literally want to be inside him, to become him, to have a libidinal relationship with a great leader. This includes both men and women. The fascist aesthetic can be very erotic for the followers. Jesus. Trump supporters want to be spanked by him. Trump supporters want to be hugged by him. They want to be with him. They want to identify with him. Oh, God. I haven't seen so much projection since that scene from It. Wow. What? They want to be inside him. No, I think the sexual degeneracy is more for your side of the political spectrum, but okay. One of the things about the evil daddy is that he shames you. What the fuck am I reading? I'm flipping out already. One of the things about the evil daddy is that he shames you. This touches your sexuality very deeply. Trump does this all the time with his attacks on people and efforts to shift the blame from him onto others. Alright, we went from we're not fucking the way we used to, and that's all Trump's fault, to Trump supporters want to give him an oil job. They want to give him that sloppy toppy. What happened? I thought we were supposed to be sexually repressed. Now we're going straight up Trump's ass? Like, what the hell is going on? Ooh. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Oh, God. Trump is beloved by right-wing Christians. They see him as a messiah figure despite his obvious and gross personal behavior. Behavior that, as viewed by most of the world's great religions, would be considered wicked and sinful. Moreover, in many of these right-wing Christian churches, they have these rituals called purity balls, where the father marries his daughter to protect her virginity. Yeah, I'm sure that's not it, but hey, whatever. You want to exaggerate to make your fucking point. Oh, Wiz Division Productions with the $2 super chat. Church of Trump, make us whole. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Trump, Church of Trump makes us whole. Let me get back to this. His daughter to protect her virginity. What does this collectively signal about a deeper hypocrisy in red states, hypocrisy in red state American around sex? Oh, I guess this is about when Trump didn't sexually assault somebody. He just kind of said how easy it was to lay billionaire thoughts, like sack chasers, basically. That it's not rape and that's not sexual assault. You haven't proved that he did anything, so please stop saying he's a sexual assaulter, because that's not what he is. Many of these fathers are like Donald Trump, and they have fantasies about their daughters. Oh, what? Now really? Now we're getting to the incest. We went from, like I said, the fucking article started about saying how we have post-Trump sex syndrome, how we're not fucking the way we used to because of depression and because of the current administration ruining our lives. And we went from that to Trump supporters are sexual deviants and they just don't know it yet. Because they're sexual deviants because they worship Trump or whatever, and they want to be inside his asshole. Like, what? What is happening? Oh my God. Hopefully they're not literally going after their daughters in bed, although some of them are. How did I come across this article? And now I'm questioning myself. Like, how did I find this article? Anyway, these fathers hold their daughters like they're on a date. Donald Trump also has been very blatant in how he talks about his own daughter as well. What he said about his daughter wasn't exactly classy or well thought out, but that doesn't mean he actually wants to fuck his daughter. That's just, come on, use your brain. And in total, these purity balls are a way of establishing ownership over women. Whatever, bitch. It reflects a broader American society which is very anti-sex. Okay, first they wanted to fuck Trump. They wanted to fuck their daughters. And now we're anti-sex and we're just puritanical. Which is it? Make up your fucking mind. I guess he's assuming that they're so repressed that that they become deviant, but he doesn't kind of make that distinction. He just kind of just says, 1 second they're deviants, 1 second they're Puritans. He doesn't, like, there's no transition between those. This is very old, the idea of utilizing sex for procreation so that daddy can be in control and have grandchildren and pass on his great fortune to his children. It's like, what the fuck? Where are you getting your... Where are you getting this shit from? This motherfucker's been watching too much Dynasty or Little House on the Prairie or wherever the hell you would get this shit from. That's the idea of sex in an ownership society, one which is patriarchal and heavily influenced by right-wing Christians. Yeah, you know what? Sex with ownership, that's wrong. But sex, like fucking anybody, having polyamorous relationships, cucking yourself out for your woman, that's so much better than having like little ceremonies with your daughter to say, hey, can you not be a slut? Can you not be a slut? Can you not fuck around and be used up by the time you're 18, please? Now, with purity balls, I'm kind of like funny about, because it's like, do you need to go that far? Is this needed? Just tell your fucking daughter, hey, being promiscuous ain't all it's cracked up to be. It's best if you wait for someone special to come around to give up your special gift to. Yeah, you don't need a ceremony for that. But at the same time, it's like, so? They're turning it, of course they turn anything wholesome into something devious because it's pure projection. You're deviant, so you gotta make everyone else think they are. But anyway. Many men are aroused by the idea of a woman having power in the bedroom. Okay. As a sex therapist, I see these men all the time, and their numbers are much higher than most would suspect. Yeah. We usually call those cucks. They like the woman to have more control in the bedroom. Like, yeah, just because you surround yourself with cucks all the time doesn't mean all men are like... I'm not saying that, like, men don't like chicks who take control, but, like, we all know what this person is talking about, considering where the direction of this topic is going. We women are a little bit more diffuse and flexible about our turn-ons. As a qualifier, I hope I'm not sounding sexist here, because for the most part I believe that men are not from Mars and women are from Venus. Yeah, whatever. We're all from the same beautiful whatever. Just get to the fucking point. We're far more alike than we're different. Whatever. And gender doesn't exist, whatever. We have a few differences. One of those differences is that men, unless they're on Viagra or another drug, can see when they are aroused. Women tend to be more exploratory by comparison. I have talked to so many men in right-wing strongholds, red state America. Yeah, of course you have. That's how you got all this fucking shit. That's how you got to this fucking conclusion, because you've been talking to right-wing men. And if you have... we're probably fucking with you. They were probably trolling you hard. They need sex therapy more than the guys in liberal parts of the country. Whatever. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think I want to show y'all something. I don't know if I still have it. Hang on. This is what liberal men are doing with themselves in their fucking relationships right now. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Find it. Oh, come on. Fuck. Well, I just fucking reblogged it. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. This is what it is. Come on, finish loading, goddammit. But alright, basically, it's these couples, these cuckold couples, and they're all wearing shirts illustrating their roles in their household. You got the hot wife shirt, the cuck. His shirt says cuck, proud sponsor of a hot wife. And the bull, who looks, for a bull who's supposedly supposed to be in charge of the whole situation, looks gay as hell. Like, looks gayer. Like the biggest homo. Cuck, proud sponsor. Oh yeah, he's wearing the same shirt. I like watching my wife play. This guy. Sharing is caring. Married with benefits. My husband likes to watch. I'm not cheating if my husband is watching. My husband will clean it up. Clean up crew. Yeah, see, this is what liberal men are doing sexually in the Trump era. I'm not going to say that this just sprung up since Trump became president. What I will say is that it got worse. Probably got worse. But yeah, this is what. How is this healthy? Bringing in other motherfuckers into your relationship to fuck your wife without provocation. How is this healthier than a guy telling his daughter, like, just don't be a hoe. Don't be a hoe. Don't just give it up to anybody. Give it up to someone who is special. How is this better than fucking? How is this better? Somebody explain it to me. Shit. I burp on your cuckery. I burp on it. Yeah, but this is so much more wholesome. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's magical. These are healthy relationships. They're gonna stand the test of fucking time. Yeah, that's what red state couples need. They need to bring multiple people into their relationship, confuse their kids, damage their relationships indefinitely, like fill their relationships with confusion and anger and resentment, jealousy. That's what they need to do. Let other people fuck their spouses. That's what needs to happen. We need to. How come every time like, not liberals really? How come every time leftists? How come every time they like propose like we need to better ourselves as a country, and the way we do that is to prostrate ourselves to other people. Is like to sacrifice our integrity and our dignity for someone else. Why is it fucking always down to that? It's fucking scary. All right, let me look at these chats. Wiz Division is like, how the fuck do you wear those shirts in public? Well, the cock at the very least enjoys humiliation, so it's easy for him. Wiz Division says, I don't think I could go on living if I was caught with those shirts on in public, let alone take selfies of myself with them. And Usagi393 is like, it's not better, and at the same time holding mock ceremonies where you pledge your virginity to your father to safeguard, I think is taking it too far. Yeah, like I said, I don't agree with those ceremonies, but hey, at least you're telling your you're sending some kind of you're trying to give your kids some kind of some sense of fucking some sense of fucking what the fuck, like decency or whatever. Like, don't be a hoe. Just don't be a fucking hoe, child. Like, I don't like those ceremonies either, though. It's like, you don't need to go that far to tell your kid not to be a whore. Like, it's not that hard to do. You can do it in moderation. Like, come on. Oh, why is this? Certain communities don't allow these men to step out of a very narrow role of what is defined as being masculine and strong and normal. Oh, fuck, here we go. They have a very hard time of even finding a therapist in those places to speak with. Men in these conservative parts of the country may not even be able to find a therapist who then can I think they spell hold on. Men in these conservative parts of the country may not even be able to find a therapist who they can share something as basic as, yeah, they should have proofread this. Hey, I really enjoy having a woman spank me. This article. Oh. This article is so passive-aggressive. You voted for Trump and you're conservative. You must be a sexually repressed homophobe, whatever. This guy, just grow up. Yeah, this is basically mocking Trump supporters, especially male Trump supporters. This isn't, like, serious concern for anybody. They're going to laugh at you. Oh, shit. Excuse me. They're going to call you names. These men will certainly not be able to share with a therapist or anyone else, for that matter, how they may really enjoy seeing their wives with another man. I knew it! The cuckoldery. I knew he was going to bring it up. I knew it. Eric, I knew it. Because that train is never late. That train is never late. Oh, God. But these right-wing conservative men are very turned on by the thought of seeing their wives or girlfriends with other men. Yeah, okay, whatever. These men, the Trump supporters, and especially the alt-right types, love to use cuck as a type of insult. Yeah, because it's very fitting, especially nowadays. But in reality, I would estimate that a lot of them, maybe most, are into the cuckold fantasies themselves. This total projection. Just say you're ashamed of when your girlfriend's husband or your girlfriend's your wife's boyfriend fucking her while you're in the other room writing these dumbass articles. Just fucking admit you don't like it. A cuckold fantasy cannot be easily separated from race in America, and especially for white conservatives and other members of the right wing. For example, in the right wing imagination, cuck is usually used as a slur against a white man who is perceived as being weak, and in making this slur, Barack Obama, the United States' first black president, is often mentioned as well. This is a direct and clear allusion to white male anxieties and racial stereotypes about the black male body and ownership over, as well as access to, white women's bodies. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. I mean, there are some people like Mr. Medicare, like he will make it racial. Like he will say, "Oh, my girlfriend loves banging Tyrone," and the other. But that's because, that's because they're making fun of that type of insecurity of a black dude, like a white guy having his girlfriend fuck a black dude. But that's because that's like a reflection of your side of the spectrum. They're making fun of you because secretly secretly you like it, but you also are afraid of it. Like it's just another jab at how like racist and insecure leftists can be. That's basically what it is. And plus it's just funny. It's just funny. It scares them, but it also makes their penises hard. Oh God. How long does it go on for? How much do I have? It's such a conundrum for these guys. Oh, my jaw's getting tight for some reason. The penis doesn't lie unless it's on Viagra. I feel that a lot of these white supremacist, cuck-obsessed, cuckold, name-calling right-wing types. See, yeah, of course, conflating right-wingers with white supremacists. That didn't take long either. Name-calling right-wing types really believe that black men are superior to them sexually and physically. This belief and feeling is at the center of their sexual desire, which in turn is the center of their true masculinity. It scares them so bad, and yet they want to act it out. They want to feel it because they have a natural desire to have an orgasm, to enjoy themselves, to have pleasure. Who the fuck would write this? Unironically, who the fuck? It's just pure projection. It's pure projection. And it's like this jealousy. Because people who whore themselves out and pimp themselves, they're always fucking jealous of someone who doesn't need to do it all the fucking time. Or like just anyone not as soiled as they are. Especially when you do that shit just to defy cultural norms. When you fucking whore yourself out in the case of like to go against what political correctness or whatever, or like, I don't know, sustain political whatever the fuck. When you do shit like that, of course you're gonna feel guilty, you're gonna feel used up, and you're gonna be jealous of anyone who doesn't have to do that. And it's just projection brought on by jealousy, and that's what it is. I mean, I know it sounds trite to just, they're just jealous. They hate us because they ain't us. I know it sounds trite, but I think that's what it is. Because yeah, you just want to fuck black men, right-wingers. Like, why would you throw that in their face like that? Because this is just passive-aggressive and insulting. And kind of racist. Because they, at least with right-wingers, when they make that joke, they know it's a joke. And they know it's pointing out, yeah, it does actually point out that type of insecurity, but the fact is, like, it's in you. It's not in them. It's in you. You would like, they're pointing out how you've kind of, like, you sacrifice your integrity just to be politically correct and racially inclusive and shit. Like, that's where that joke stems from. But anyway, a lot of these white right-wing men, especially the alt-right types, would love to have sex with African-American men, but this could potentially ruin their social and political power if it became publicly known. But the fantasies will still exist. They try to work these fantasies and tensions out somehow, but they have this totally opposite politics and cultural relationship to the world and to their families. I have tried to help people to be a little bit more honest with their true fantasies and desires, but it is a challenge. Like, yeah, it means you talk to right-wingers and hit right-wing men and fucking hit on them and grope them. Like, come on, please, fuck me, please. Just make me feel whole. Just make me feel something. I've tried to help these right-wingers. I mean, I've given them the address to my glory hole and everything. Granting that it is unhealthy, does all of this guilt and repressed desire make the sex better in the moment? I don't know if it really makes the sex hotter. It just makes the desire very intense. I tried to help people come to terms with these things, but these contradictions between your value system and your desire are very difficult. I can't tell you how many clients I have that are torn apart by these tensions. Some of these clients get better. They're more honest with their wives, at least, and some of them are not. But then there are the really far gone men and boys and teens. These are so-called incels. These are the so-called incels, which is a subculture known as the involuntary celibates, who are developing a tremendous resentment towards women and also towards men who seem to be having some sex. And some of these most extreme incels become mass murderers, as we have seen in the United States repeatedly during the last few years. But of course, they conflate that with Donald Trump and right-wingers instead of, oh, maybe, you know, we're not just teaching our boys the right things, and maybe we're failing boys because we're putting all our energy into women and just not them. We're not going to say that. We're not going to admit that. We're not going to say that. It's just right-wingers. It's just Trump. Like, it's just fucking Trump. No. You wrote about, You wrote about the allegations that Donald Trump's former advisor and campaign manager, Paul Manafort, practiced interracial cuckolding. This is all very revealing, given Manafort worked for Donald Trump, a public figure, and now, God damn it, and now presidents whose behavior in politics are very racist. Yeah, of course they are. Can you explain more about this kink? Like, you just wanted to write a fucking article about the cuckold kink, but you're so fucking ashamed of it that you have to tie in Trump somehow. What is cuckolding? It's an old English term that actually derives from the French word cuckoo, which is, of course, the cuckoo bird who lays her eggs in another bird's nest. Excuse me. That bird then raises the eggs. That bird then raises the eggs. The cuckold is someone whose partner is having sex with someone else. In previous eras in many cultures, this was always considered a subject of great humiliation, which it is. A cuckold is most often a man. Sometimes it could be a woman, which would be a cuck queen. A cuck queen! A cuck queen! Oh shit, some women are very turned on by her spouse or partner having sex with others. Bless you! But it's mostly defined as a male whose wife is having sex with other men. But cuckold is mostly used in a consensual way. The husband wants it to happen. He's turned on by it. It's exciting. As unbelievable as it may sound, there are actually slave plantation retreats where black people go to be dominated by white people in a BDSM interracial role-playing experience. There are also other examples of that kink where blacks and Latinos and other non-whites engage in race play with their intimate partner. How did we get here? First we went to, we're not having enough sex because of the Trump administration. Now we're at, okay, look, the cuck thing, it's kind of cool, okay? And you fucking right-wingers know you want to do it. Come on, man. Like, I gave you the address to my glory hole. Just go, okay? Oh, God. How did we get here? How did we fucking get here? Oh, race play with their intimate partners, where the former act out crossing the border and being captured by the authorities, are servants or slaves who are subjected to racist abuse. Sometimes this takes the form of using racial slurs while having sex. To me, these are clear examples of internalized white supremacy and self-hatred. Okay, so men and women, more importantly, white men and women who engage in cuckoldery and BDSM shit, they're doing it for because they're sexually open and honest with each other. But black men, Mexican men of color who practice bondage, who practice BDSM and being submissive in like race play or in any way possible, that's because they have internalized racism and internalized white supremacy. What the fuck? Oh, okay. How do you look in the mirror and believe this horseshit? This is so fucking retarded. To me, these are all clear examples of internalized white supremacy and self-hatred. But I also believe that people have a right to their own pleasure and bodily autonomy with consenting partners. How do we reconcile these tensions? So it's fine when these kale drinking or these kale eating fucking Hillary voting white people do it. When they do the cuckoldery thing, it's cool. It's experimental. They're exploring their sexuality. But if a person of color does it, it's just internalized white supremacy. This is so fun. This is, like I said, this article kind of racist. It is complicated and not a simple issue. I think it can be great therapy. Interracial cuckolding and other types of role playing can open up the participants' minds to each other and make them all better people. I really believe that. Oh, like I said, TV doctors, don't listen to them. They're fucking morons. I don't give a damn. No self-respecting doctor would be on television. That full stop. No self-respecting doctor would have a television show or be on television. Unless it's like a small little segment from one of those true crime documentaries. But other than that, no. I don't trust no fucking doctor who's had their own show on television. Or who enjoys the limelight. I don't trust those motherfuckers. I really believe that. I also believe that this type of sex can exorcise old demons from your childhood. It can also exorcise old demons from just being an American and this country's history. I believe in the power of psychodrama and fantasy role-playing. I think when it's all consensual and there's discussion afterwards and before, it can be very valuable. But unfortunately, all too often, that does not happen. What advice do you have for people who are experiencing post-Trump sex disorder? How can they salvage their intimate lives in a time such as fear, anxiety, and worry? First of all, I believe in the importance of pleasure. I think too many people on the right denigrate pleasure as sending you to hell. Okay. They all think that. Of course, they are very hypocritical about it, and there are too many people on the left who denigrate pleasure as being selfish. No, I think that's the exact opposite on the left. Cuckoldery. Pleasure when you're sharing is the opposite of selfishness. You're really reaching out to your fellow humans. That's the beauty of life. Jesus Christ. I think it is important to honor pleasure and to honor pleasure givers. It is also very important to honor your own sexual desires and pleasures of your partner or partners. If your partner has a cuckold fantasy or some other fantasy you don't like, try not to shame them. No, can and will. Can and will. Try to let them talk about it and try to hear them out. Of course, do not do anything that bothers you. I think that there are so many people who shame each other over our human sexual desires. It's kind of a favorite American pastime. I think that contributes to a sex negative culture. Like they literally talked about nothing. Like the title is total clickbait. It's just a fucking article praising the cuckold culture, and that's basically it. The Trump shit is just like, it's just an excuse to start talking about Trump. Let me look at some of these comments. Liberals' sex lives are better than ever. Loud, headboard breaking ecstasy. Several times a night. Soon they'll try it with a partner, too. We also cannot forget all the ammosexuals who substitute their favorite guns for a working penis. I'll just leave this here. Oh, that's just some asshole. I promise that I will never whip out my gun to save you from an attacker. Please wear a sign so I can identify you in public to be sure. Oh, God. Come on, give me some juicy ones, not some butthurt gun owners. Yeah, these comments aren't all that interesting. Well, that's the end of that one. Yeah, that article is total trash. What the fuck? Salon. Well, then again, isn't Salon the same fucking website? Who gave a platform to a pedophile? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not too shocked by this. Stop talking about testosterone. There's no such yeah, all right, yeah, this is the next article. Stop talking about testosterone. There's no such thing as a true sex. Here we go. Okay, hang on. Okay, the cookie I was eating, the oatmeal cookie I was eating was really messy. So yeah, I had to get some crumbs together. Okay, sports bodies want a biological criterion to indicate an athlete's sex, but it's mind-bogglingly more complicated than that. No, it's not. It's fucking not. Debates are raging again over who... I swear, I can't talk for shit. Debates are raging again over who should be allowed to compete in the women's sport. Take two recent examples that inflamed the internet. First, the Sunday Times reported that the International Association of Athletics Federation intended to classify women with higher natural testosterone as biological males. Like, yes, they are biological. I love how they word this. It's so fucking manipulative. Like they said, women with higher natural testosterone. You mean trans women. They can't even say trans women. That's how bad it is. They can't even come out and say trans women, because even that would be considered an admission that they were born a man. That's okay. Just as 800-mile runner Caster Semenya was headed to court to challenge the IAAF regulations that would exclude her and others from competing owing to higher than typical testosterone levels. Oh god. Then tennis great Martina Navratilova asserted that trans women biologically are still men and shouldn't be allowed to compete in women's events. Let's be real. In terms of physicality in sports, like, yeah, it's true. It's unfortunate, but it's fucking true. Sorry. The IAAF, you can become a woman like you can be a woman mentally and cosmetically, but like on the inside, like, come on, it's not gonna change. Stop. And look at this picture. She's clearly like 2 feet bigger than fucking everybody. Got masculine arms. Like, come on. You're like, sports wise, physically wise, you're still a dude. Technically. Like, I still acknowledge the fact that she is a girl, but at the same time, it's like physically, you're still like muscle mass, bone structure, like all that shit. Like, you're still a guy, technically. But anyway. The IAAF and Navratilova quickly backed away from these claims, but the damage was done. Many journalists intent on covering a mind-bogglingly complicated subject with authority have asked me the same question recently. Are women with high T testosterone biological males? They're fucking trans women. Fucking say it, you coward. Hang on. Okay, there we go. They're fucking. They can't even say trans women. That's how bad it is. The answer that is there. The answer is that there is no simple definition of what a biological male is. Oh no! Stop it! The XY chromosome, fucking chromosomes, muscle mass, dick. That's what determines it. Like, stop it. Even our brains. Like, stop. For decades, sports governing bodies have sought a single biological criterion by which to exclude some women from the female category, yet the idea of a true sex is mistaken and tries to make something incredibly complex seem simple and binary, because it fucking is. Stop it! The latest effort claims gonads and the testosterone they have a role in producing as the key factor in what constitutes as biological male. But to reduce sex to a single trait is to profoundly mischaracterize decades of research into sex biology. We're not talking about one trait. We're talking about many traits. We just happen to be focusing on one because we're talking about sports. Like, yeah, mentally you're a woman. Yeah, good for you. But physically, like, we're talking about a sports, like a profession, like where your biological physical makeup matters. Fucking, that's why there's certain class weights in boxing. And if you don't make weight, you're gonna get, if you're like going, like, if it's like, if someone who weighs 110 pounds is going up against a heavyweight fighter who weighs damn near 300, they're gonna get fucking killed. That's why we have certain weight classes, and that's why we have certain gender classes when it comes to fucking sports. Because if men went up against women, most of the time women would get their fucking asses mangled. They would be because men are stronger than women. Like, if we're gonna put women up against men, and we tell them, like, hey, like, don't take it easy on them, go all out, because just because they're women doesn't mean you go easy on them. And then they do exactly that. They're gonna end up like, there's gonna be a lot of fucking dead women there's gonna be a lot of dead women in co-ed sports. What the fuck was I? Oh shit. Latest going answer. Oh, the science is clear. There is no single physiological or biological marker that allows for the simple categorization of people as male or female. Yes, there fucking is. It's fucking chromosomes, nigga. Chromosomes. That defines it completely right there. And chromosomes determine every fucking thing when it comes to gender. Like, come on. How can you be this fucking manipulative? Only a dumbass would read this and be like, yep. Gonads were once thought to define one's sex in the 1800s. Yeah, because science wasn't fully developed yet. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. I love how the people use that as an example. At one point in the 1800s, when people were still using leeches to fucking cure diseases, they thought gonads were yeah, of course, because shit wasn't that advanced yet. You dumbass. By the 1950s, scientists had identified at least 6 markers of sex: chromosomes, gonads, hormones, secondary sex characteristics, external genitalia. I thought we only focused on one. Now you're saying there's multiple ones. Make up your mind. While these markers may align along a female typical or male typical path, that's not always the case. I'm sorry, but like, just your brain telling you you're a woman does not make you a woman. What's more, each of these markers comes in more than 2 versions. For example, people are often assumed to have either XX or XY chromosomes, but some individuals are born with an extra X chromosome, and others have a mosaic which each cell has one karyotype or the other. The hell? The genetics characterization of the chromosome, a complement of a species, such as shape, type, number of chromosomes. Okay, wait. Karyotyping is the process of which the karyotype is prepared. It makes use of cells arrested in the metaphase stage, which is done by applying a colchicine solution. It is because of the chromosomes are thick at this stage and therefore can be easily observed under a microscope after staining. The karyotype of an organism is then displayed in photomicrographs. The chromosomes are arranged in... Okay, but the karyotype, as defined, is the characterization of chromosome complement of a species. Such as shape. So it's just like... Okay, so it's just a... It just shows like the shape of a chromosome, the type, and number. So it doesn't determine anything about gender. It's just like, oh. Hang on, let me go back to what this says. For example, people are often assumed to have either XX or XY chromosomes, but excuse me, some individuals are born with an extra X chromosome, and others have a mosaic, which each cell has one karyotype or another. So they have different. Looks like so the different chromosomes have different characteristics, or like maybe there's more than one number. Like that doesn't. What does that have to do with gender? It's a rarity, and that doesn't mean there's like a third gender, or that doesn't mean there isn't a binary. It just means there's some people who might have some mutations, or deform like some kind of deformity or mutation. That doesn't mean that there's a third gender, that gender doesn't exist. Like, knock it off. Let me look at the chat right quick. Yeah, barely anyone's here. Like, the chat is barely moving anymore. Oh, Simple Che said, I got crumbs all over me. Like, I'm never going to live that up, am I? I don't think I'm ever going to live that quote up. But anyway. Yeah, see? People have more than one chromosome. That means gender doesn't exist. No, that means deformities and, what's it called? Yeah, deformities and chromosomal abnormalities exist. That doesn't nullify the existence of the binary, dumbass. So while sex is commonly thought to be straightforward, consisting of two clear categories of male and female, the breadth of human physical variance is more complex than the categories suggest. The upshot: there are many biological markers of sex, but none is decisive. Oh God, this is delusional. Claiming that one factor does not reflect the science of sex biology, and certainly can't be used to... Well, see, the first example... The first example that they use for there being like multiple genders or whatever is what? Karyotyping? And that's just like a way to describe like a character, like describe characteristics of chromosomes. It didn't say anything about fucking gender. It was like more, what did they say? Numbers. What was it? Shape, type, number, and number of chromosomes. That's it. It didn't say anything about fucking gender. So that's their big gotcha. So, oh, well, karyotyping. And there's a claiming that one factor does not reflect the sign. It says it cannot be used to determine who can and cannot compete. Like, stop it. Stop it. But see, like, they're under the assumption that trans people have like extra chromosomal abnormalities and just don't have like dysphoria, which is a mental disorder. I mean, shit. Like, they're trying to make trans people look like something they're not. No. It's not dysphoria. It's a chromosomal abnormality. That means they're three more. That means they're not within the binaries. Like, shut up. If they weren't in the fucking within a fucking binary, they wouldn't be trying. They wouldn't have gender dysphoria. Why do they have gender dysphoria if gender isn't a thing? You don't make any fucking sense. Oh, my fucking jaw just keeps getting tight. That's why I'm speaking less and less. Ugh. Less and less coherently throughout this whole thing. There's another outdated idea circulating that testosterone is the male sex hormone, and that its presence in women is a problem. Who the fuck said that? But this too is wrong. This idea was cemented long before the hormone was even isolated in 1935, and has persisted despite decades of science showing otherwise. Early scientists assumed sex hormones would be exclusive to one sex or another, that their physiological roles would be restricted to sexual development and functions, and that they would be antagonistic. That is, if T caused the cock's comb to swell, I guess it's supposed to be estrogen, or estrogen would make it shrivel. As early as like when trans people, well, especially trans women, take testosterone, their dick does start to shrivel up, and it becomes kind of like some kind of super vagina, or what do they call it? Like the fuck do they call it? Like some kind of girl. Like it slowly starts to look like a clitoris. It's fucking weird, but that's what happens when they take estrogen. Trans women, their dick starts to shrivel up and stop working. At least I think. As early as 1920, though, scientists have reported data that they described as surprising, paradoxical, and disquieting. Much to their surprise, the hormones were not sex exclusive, but both men and women had them, and findings that contradicted the dualistic paradigm were easy to find. The showy feathers of the rooster were not restored by testicular implants or injecting tea. Instead, seemed that female hormones were responsible for their masculine appearance. What? And they were talking about like testing it on roosters? Oh, they also learned that the hormone was critical for bone development, heart function, and liver metabolism functions that have nothing to do with sex difference. Oh, God. Well, estrogen is good for the heart. That means gender doesn't exist. Oh, what the fuck? This is so fucking backwards. Yet the idea that testosterone is the male sex hormone and estrogen is the female sex hormone is a paradigm which persists and is being drawn on now. Okay, so if testosterone, whatever, it has nothing to do with anything, why do men and women look vastly fucking different? Why do men and women have different bone structure and all that shit? Why? Explain that shit. Fucking explain it. And what if testosterone? Oh my god, sorry guys. I don't know why my speech is so fucking off today. And what of testosterone and athleticism? This relationship is also far from simple. Renowned testosterone researcher Chandler Shalindar Basin, director of the research program in men's health and Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, has been trying for years to get people to understand the important distinction between the particular effects of tea and broad statements about athletic performance. Also, if testosterone is not, if it's not, okay, I have no idea what's wrong with me today. If testosterone or hormones have nothing to do with gender, then why do trans people have to take them so they can fit in to being the gender they want to be. You make no fucking sense. How can you be this fucking backwards? How do people get away with writing this shit? How does an editor look at this and be like, what the fuck is this? Please do some research and do it right. Athletic performance. In a New York Times article in which one scientist proposed that tea could take an athlete to the next level, Bassin threw cold water on that notion, saying the explanations of cause and effect between athletic performance and testosterone are very weak. He addresses that apparent paradox that giving people tea can increase muscle mass and power, as well as what's called maximal voluntary strength, as do things other than tea. By the way, but doesn't seem to build a better athlete. Okay, but these trans women who are competing in women's athletic events were born men, which means they were born with male muscles, male muscle mass. Testosterone can't give you more muscle mass. Doesn't this kind of throw trans men under the bus? Like, they can't become real men. They can't become as athletic as a normal man because, hey, testosterone can't build a better athlete. They can't make people stronger, right? It has nothing to do with gender, right? So you're kind of throwing trans men under the bus. And because let's be real, these trans activists only give a shit about trans women at the end of the day. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I need to blow my nose. Ugh. This is getting hard to speak. Oh, fuck. Of all the physiological factors relevant to athletic performance, the two for which there are the most abundant and convincing links to T are skeletal muscle mass, also sometimes called lean body mass, and physical strength. Something those who oppose trans women competing have deployed. But studies of T levels among athletes fail to show consistent relationships between T and performance. As one example, those studies show a correlation between higher baseline endogenous T levels and either speed or explosive power, but many other studies show either weak or no links. Because you're because you're ignoring this you're ignoring this to tailor your fucking science to the status quo. That's basically what you're doing. No, we're testosterone. He was born a man, with male muscle mass and shit, but that's got nothing to do. Men aren't stronger than women. No, that's got nothing to do with anything. Quite a few studies even find that higher baseline T is associated with worse performance. Oh, yeah, because men are awful. Because testosterone is awful. Testosterone is just so weak. Masculinity is so fragile. Some of the data the IAAF is using to fight Semenya's case show this. Other studies have found that T relates to performance only in specific subgroups of athletes, such as those who play certain positions in soccer or rugby players who are stronger to begin with. Oh, God. Yeah, not football, basketball, shit like that, not baseball. Just, yeah, all the fucking sports that aren't as masculine. For some reason. I'm not saying that, like, soccer is for pussies or anything. Or is it like a feminine sport, really? But it's not as, like, known for being a masculine and a more contact sport, or like it's not that well known as being a masculine sport as football, like American football and baseball and all that shit. Of course, they're not going to show any results for that because that would blow their whole thing out of the water. Think of Usain Bolt, the fastest human in the world, yet he isn't the fastest at every race. What fucking what does that prove? Okay, he's the fastest person in the world, but he's not fast at every race. It's like a child wrote this shit. When asked why he never runs the 800 miles, he responded, "I've tried it and trained, and my PR personal record is like 2:07. And that's really slow, like a woman could beat me." The interviewer laughed him off, saying, "You're going to get into trouble for that," but Bolt was serious. It's true, they could. Yeah, he was probably very obviously joking. Like, a woman could beat me because I was like, I tried to beat that. I'm really fucking slow at that, specifically. This is because sport encompasses an enormous array of activities requiring vastly different combinations of skills and physical capacities. When is power more important? When is finesse? How crucial is endurance? What about flexibility, hand-eye coordination, communication with teammates? Strategy. When you hear athleticism, do you think of sprinting, where success is all about explosive speed, or do you think of something like luge, where the ability to isolate body parts and make subtle adjustments and to remain flexible while going unprotected down a track 90 miles per hour are just as important as power? There is no one answers these questions. Like, this is what you're arguing is what this person is arguing is more about. Sometimes guys aren't that good at sports. Sometimes they are. But we're talking about men going up against women. We're not talking about men in general. Like, oh, are they good at sports all the time? Like, we're not talking about how good they are compared to, like, they're trying to make this like, are men better at sports than women? And we're like, and because they're men. It's like, no, we're saying that men are stronger and more agile because they have more fucking muscle mass. So when you equally train, so when men do when they train equally, the man is probably going to come out on top because he's got more muscle mass and he's bigger and has more muscle mass and he has more agility or whatever. Well, not more agility, but he's got more muscle mass. Like, when certain sports having to do with strength, men might win over a woman. It's just not fair to put a guy up against a girl. Would you do it with MMA? Would you do it with football, basketball? No, you wouldn't. And I love how the only fucking link they provide is this guy Bassine, his shit, and the definition of karyotype. They are so fucking lazy. They barely supply any real evidence of anything. But anyway, I might just end the stream here because I think everyone basically fucking left. Because when my internet went out. I don't know. Like, everyone's basically gone, so I might just end the stream early. I've already been on for nearly 3 hours anyway. Or do you guys think I should do one more article and then hang it up? I don't know. I don't know, my face is starting to hurt for some reason. I just can't. I think it's because I need to get more sleep. My face is always seizing up. Oh, boy. Oh, Wisdom, it's just no one's ever really gone. The racist practice of mispronouncing names. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you know what, guys? I think I'm going to end it here for the night. I kind of talked about all the big shit I wanted to talk about. I only have... How many articles do I have left? Yeah, these 2 articles to talk about. But my face is starting to hurt for some reason. Like, my jaw keeps clenching up, like, keeps freezing up. Oh. And like 90% of my fucking of the people watching just left when my internet went out. So I think I'm just gonna hang it up. Hang it up. Yeah, thank you, Wiz Division, and thanks to everybody for the super chats. I'm just gonna end it now because I think everyone's fucking gone anyway. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. It'll be better the next time, I swear. Jesus Christ, this weather, shit's just going to hell over here, and my face just hurts. I haven't been sleeping well lately, so my face just keeps locking up every time I say something. But yeah, thank you guys, and good night. Oh yeah, thank you, Quills. Oh my God, thank you, Kill Switch Engage. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Good night, you guys, and thank you again. I keep thanking you guys, but really thank you for tuning in, putting up with all this bullshit. Bye. Have a good night.